the Panther Vision PVAMU-TV production of National Signing Day here on the campus of Prairie View A&M University. National Signing Day is the first day that high school athletes can officially sign a binding national letter of intent for collegiate sport with a school that is a member of the United States NCAA. Today is a great day in the lives of many young student athletes, parents, family, and friends alike. Here at Prairie View A&M University, we're very proud of our student athletes and our program. Prairie View A&M University for over 140 years has continued to produce productive people as well as build champions. Today, we'll talk to several of our coaches and find out what's going on in exciting Panther sports. We'll talk about the future of Prairie View A&M University athletics and what's to come here in the near future. We're going to take a break and come back with our first coach, our head women's volleyball coach, Coach Tacho Tyler. This is Prairie View A&M University's Panther Vision and Prairie View A&M University Television.
Everything was new. I was foreign, first generation to college, so everything was new to me. And it was about 8 of us from class of 21 that came to school there, and about 67 of those, the other part of them went to Wiley College. And we were in the back of the NYA2 where the football players were playing basketball one day. And they had some trailer houses out there, and we looked around and I said, you know what? These people studying, we better get serious. Because we had no idea. All we knew was we wanted to go to college. And the next day I got busy. We got my books, and I got busy, started going to class.
Growing up in Bay City, we had a pretty rich football tradition. And before I got to high school, a guy named Joe Washington came to Bay City. He had been a Prairie View athlete. And at a 7th grade year, maybe he told me I was going to be his quarterback.
PV football, I want to take the time. I want you guys to give the champion from 58 to 1963 round of applause for coming back.
Welcome back to National Signing Day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Charles Porter, your host. Today, we're getting ready to talk with the head women's volleyball coach of Prairie View A&M University, Coach Tacho Tyler. Entering her 6th season as the head coach here at her alma mater, Prairie View A&M University's Tacho Tyler has returned the Lady Panthers to prominence as one of the top contenders in the Southwestern Athletic Conference's volleyball programs. The 2019 campaign was a breakthrough season for Tyler and the Lady Panthers as the team more than doubled the 2018 win total and advanced to the finals of the Southwestern Athletic Conference volleyball tournament for the first time since 2006. The team ranked near the top of the league in several categories and had 3 All-SWAC honorees in Satara Carter, Victoria Pearson, and Tamia Armstrong. Ladies and gentlemen, the Panthers are 4-0 in conference play, and we're excited about it. Your head volleyball coach, Coach Tacho Tyler. Hey, Coach.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We are so excited about your program and about what you've done with Prairie View A&M University's volleyball program. You and I have been down the road quite a bit together. I remember you as a young, rambunctious superstar volleyball player, but you have blossomed into a great coach. Tamika Newman and Will Jefferson are doing a fantastic job at your side. You've got, I think, 6 or is it 4 preseason volleyball players this year?
4.
4.
We have 4. Okay. 3 on the first team and 1 on second team.
And I tell you, you Lady Panthers have been taking it by storm. Tell us a little bit about your program this year and where we're going.
We're really excited. We're 4-0 right now. We started off with our first home match, which was UIW, with a win. We were up 2 and then battled back and 1-5. So that was exciting because that was the first time in program history that we beat a PIW. So that was nice. And then since then, we've played 3 conference matches, and we went 5 with Grambling and 1, and then we swept Pine Bluff and Alcorn. So right now we're 4-0, and then tomorrow night we play U of H and hopefully keep the streak going.
Yeah, the Panthers have missed a couple of games due to this COVID situation. I mean, the COVID-19 pandemic has just run rampant through collegiate sports. How's that affected your program?
So far, not yet. We came into camp with no positive cases, and then since, we haven't had any positive cases, so we haven't had to shut down. And I think that is very fortunate for us. And right now we're playing really well and really good volleyball. So it's just constantly preaching to the girls to stay within the volleyball bubble, so that we can, keep this streak going, and that, the unity that we have had and the number of games that we've probably played more games than any of our counterparts thus far. So we want to keep that going, just trying to stay COVID-free, safe within our bubble, and then just keep racking in wins.
You guys have been really beating the bushes, bringing in superlative athletes. I think I was looking at our statistics. I think your team averages a 3.0 grade point average, and I mean that's just fantastic for our program. But you guys have been out. Man, you did some good recruiting out there. You've added Mira Coffee out there, man, who's doing a fantastic job. Jakarta Hope, the twins that you got a couple of years ago, they've come into prominence. Of course, our libero, we have the best libero, Skylar Childs in the Southwest Athletic Conference. She got robbed last year.
Total robbery. Total robbery.
And you ladies have really gelled. I've been watching y'all. I've broadcasted all of your games, basically. And I've seen a matriculation of maturity in your ladies. I've seen a closeness in your ladies. And you're kind of doing like, I remember Coach Carson, you said, Jackson State, we don't recruit, we reload. You guys have just reloaded, and you've got some good prospects coming up on the horizon. Tell us about it.
So we definitely had to reload from last year. Losing the championship game, we knew we had a couple of holes to fill. And I think we did that with, as you mentioned, Kamira has came in. She's a transfer, but she's a sophomore from Lee College. We have Malia, who is a freshman, but is a starting outside for us. So just a few pieces here and there. We have Tainara, who set out for a year, but is active now. And so we filled the pieces in last year. And then, of course, with Tamira and Vic, who are seniors this year, along with Melanie and Miriam, they're leaving. So we had to reload for fall of 2021 so that we can continue to grow the program and push it in the right direction.
She is going to cut me, but Reynolds, the Reynolds, the last name Reynolds, she's doing a great job for you too as an outside hitter. I mean, you ladies are playing with a lot of power. The Baby Dome would really be rocking like never before if we weren't in this pandemic, because I tell you, the students are coming out and supporting. Even the officials, quiet as it's kept, are really excited about the program.
It is true. We were in Pine Bluff, and the officials were like, "Oh, we seen your game. We seen, you guys beat UIW," and they've been talking. It's kind of strange in a way, but still really fun. And I agree, the Baby Dome would be rocking. We have some high flyers out there, some hard hitters. So it's exciting. It's been an exciting year. We just want to make sure we just keep the wins going when it matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you that if you're watching, we'd like to ask you to share this link on YouTube. Go to www.pvpanthers.com and share the link with Panther fans alike. I think we got the word out in time. So we're looking for a lot of people to sit back and come in and watch this National Signing Day. Coach, as you get ready to play U of H, what is the mindset of the ladies?
Right now, I think the biggest benefit so far is that we have some wins under our belt. I think in years past, we've had losses going into games. And so they have a high confidence right now. And every day in practice, we just focus on getting better. And it's always not so much about who our opponent is, but to make sure that we execute our game plan. And so that's what we focus on in practice. U of H is another opponent for us. We're able to watch a few of their games as well because they're streaming online, which I'm sure they've also watched us. So we're just prepared to come in with our game plan and just try to go 5-0.
I want to ask you one other thing. I want to
Okay.
jump back into to the bubble. What is your recruiting philosophy? You've done a lot of recruiting right here in the state of Texas. So, you know, people like myself and even you, as alums, we get so many calls from parents saying, "I got this young lady that can do this. I've got this young man that can do that." You know, it's very difficult. And you know, I want to take this opportunity in this platform to kind of address some of those things because you recruit 2 years out or 4 years out. Explain that.
Okay. So we try to recruit 2 years out. So right now, being that we're in 2021, with the pandemic, it set us back just a little bit. So we're closing out 2022. We're right on top of our 22, getting those commitments. And then we're looking at the class of 2023. And that's usually how it works. We can pretty much tell when we get maybe a fourth or so into the season, what holes that we're going to need to fill. And then that's when we start opening up and start talking to the next class and then the class after that. So if we're in 2021 right now, we're usually done with, as far, especially with scholarship wise. Now our program does work with having preferred walk-ons, and that's really how we survive and get better because we're only as good as what the other side of the net can show us day in and day out with practice. So even though we have our scholarship kids, you know, sold and signed, we do still look for preferred walk-on kids that can come in and challenge for those spots and to give us good competition. So it's a mixture of both.
Well, Coach, you've got a relatively young team. I think you have 4 seniors. I'm trying to make sure. I don't want to misquote anything because some of those ladies aren't here anymore. But we got 4 seniors, 5 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and 3 juniors.
That sounds about right.
Right.
That's almost right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's. I'm pretty sure that's right. That sounds right.
I tell you, Coach, you've done a fantastic job, and we're so very proud of you. We would like to open up a question and answer session if there are some questions from the fans that are coming out. I'm going to give Dr. Dow Vest, our producer, who has just done an amazing job. I've got a new best friend in Dr. D, who is over in the Department of Communications, and she runs PVAMU-TV. She's done a great job. We're gonna take a quick break and come back and see if there's some questions. But first, I want to remind you, exciting Panther volleyball returns on tomorrow as the Lady Panthers travel down to Houston, Texas to take on the Cougars of the University of Houston. Unfortunately, there will not be any fans in the stands. University of Houston says, we're not taking any chances. You can't come in. Do you know if it's going to be, we've been trying to research to see if it's going to be live streamed.
So far, they have been broadcasting their games on their Facebook, which is U of H Cougar Volleyball. So if you just search that, they have been streaming so far all of their games on there. So I'm hoping to do the same. If not, it will be live streamed on our Instagram, which is PVAMU Volley B.
PVAMU Volley
B. So it'll be live on there, whether U of H does it or not. But if they do, you can just search U of H Cougar Volleyball on Facebook.
All right, Coach, we're going to take a break. I want to remind you, you can follow Prairie View University Athletics on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at PVAMU. Okay, we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll ask a couple of more questions and wrap things up with head volleyball coach, Tacho Tyler.
Одна сотая секунды. Итак, в этом финале старт принимает Альберто Фонтарена по второй дорожке. Замечательный спорт.
Came to Prairie View in June of 1966 after graduating from high school. And it was a great atmosphere with lots of students from rural towns all over Texas mainly. So a lot of people from small towns with small town backgrounds and high aspirations to get an education here. One that was implanted in their minds from their teachers and ministers and parents that Prairie View was a way to a better life. I was not a great athlete in high school. I didn't make the state championships in sports and any of them, even though I played them all. I had this love of baseball because baseball was the big deal in my high school, and I went out for the baseball. But the baseball coach decided that we were losing very bad, and he decided that he's going to take us off to the track and make us run. And I ran faster in baseball uniform and tennis shoes than some of the athletes that were on the track team. And the track coach was there timing it. The next day, baseball coach cut me and told me that I didn't play baseball anymore, I ran track. When I went out for the track team, I made the track team, but I wasn't a superstar. I was basically one of the slowest guys on the team. Here's a kid that in May of 1966 could not make it out of the district championship in his district in high school. 2 years later, June of 1968, they selected 16 athletes in the U.S. in every event to go to the Olympic trial. And I'm number 16 in the United States. They liked the idea that a guy from a Prairie View could compete against athletes from UCLA and Oregon and Villanova and on an equal footing. So I had a lot of people that were rooting for me. I knew there weren't 3 people in the entire world that could run a 400 meters as fast as I could. I knew that. So going into the Olympic Games, I had that type of confidence. I won a gold medal in the 4x4 relay, or as we call it here in America, the mile relay, and I won silver medal in the 400-meter dash.
Back. It's Newhouse, United States. Right up on Jenkins now. And also going well right on the outside is Maxie Boggs.
I can't explain to you what happened in 18 months that took me from not being able to win the district in my high school district to setting the national record in the NAIA. All I can tell you is that God still creates miracles. And I think I am a product of God's blessing.
In lane 2, Newhouse leads. Wantarina cutting down on the Little American. And Wantarina comes through in lane 2. Newhouse tying up. The Cuban drives for the line and on his way to a second goal. Goal for Cuba.
The highest value of Prairie View University, and it is my great honor to present you with the 2019 Distinguished Alumnus Medal.
All right, we're back live here on National Signing Day. Charles Porter along with head coach Tacho Tyler. Coach, you know what? I have to admit, I have a computer deficiency / learning curve. Trying to drop the background down. I thought I did it. You thought you did it. And I tell you,
I tried. It wasn't working.
It didn't want to cooperate with us. So we apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna try to get that fixed. We're gonna take a long break after this before we get ready to talk to Coach Dewey. Coach, before we let you go, tell us a little bit about the signees that you have signed this year.
Yes, so we have Amina Atra coming in from Ridgepoint High School, and she's a setter. So Miriam Cardona is is graduating, so we had to fill the setter position. She's out of Ridgepoint. They have had a lot of success going to state. Even in her club team, they're super successful on the national level. So she has that championship experience already. She has great hands, great defense. So I'm excited about her. And my former assistant, Coach Lauren, actually coaches there. So I'm starting a pipeline with Ridgepoint, hopefully. And then we also have Alea Fields, who is out of Ohio. She's a 5'10" freshman setter as well, who can kind of do it all. So we definitely fill those holes with that. And then I have an outside coming in from Dodge City Community College, which is Ruby Osaway. She's a 5'10" kid, powerful jump, powerful swing, to really come in and replace that seniority that we're losing with Tamira Armstrong, who's also graduating. And then I have a couple of preferred walk-on kids in Kaya Artis, who's out of the Dallas area, 5'10" outside kid. And then also Tiffany, who is out of Austin, who is a 5'9" outside kid that we kind of lucked up on last minute. So that's our recruiting class. We just filling the holes in as we move forward, and as our seniors are moving out. Hopefully we can just continue to fill just minor holes and continue to win games, and hopefully future championships is the plan.
Prairie View A&M University women's volleyball, where champions are built. Coach, we'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Good luck on tomorrow. Good luck down the road. I am looking for another ring, and I know you ladies are looking for
Me too.
What a great recruiting class that you have inked in. We wanted to save that for last one. Save the best part for last. So
save the best part for last.
If you'd like to see more on our recruits, we have them on our webpage. All you got to do is go to www.pvpanthers.com. You can get more information as well as some bios on the new Panthers that are coming in next year. Once again, Coach, thanks so much for stopping by. We wish you all the luck. Go Panthers.
Thank you. You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to – sorry. Dr. Dalvez. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We're going to take about a 4-minute intermission, and come back with exciting Panther football. This is Panther Vision and PVAMU-TV.
I arrived in Prairie View in 1965 from Hempstead, Texas, and just an old country boy there, and something I always could contribute to going to, well, I always, all the way back, I can trace all the way back to my great-grandfather. That's called the Watermelon King, and he might have been one of the first of the 8 that enrolled at Prairie View back in the 1876 when Prairie View was established there, because he was born in 1859. So I had a traditional thing for family of going to Prairie View. My oldest brother, both brothers, sister, attended Prairie View. My oldest brother played football here in the 50s.
I arrived at Prairie View at the time it was Prairie View College in 1966, majoring in business education. I'm the first in my family to come to Prairie View. I was told by our counselor this was the place to come. I'm from Lufkin, Texas. My parents owned a grocery store in Lufkin, Texas, the Hackney grocery store, which funded me to come to Prairie View. A girlfriend of mine took me to the party with them, and that's where I met John Fuller. The next day, going to the old dining hall, which no longer stands, I stopped and spoke to him, and of course he didn't know who I was. I guess he didn't pay attention to me that night. And we spoke, communicated. Then he said, let's walk, and I turned around. And from then on, we had a relationship. About a year later, I think he graduated. And we kept communicating with that back and forth. And One day going home the last year, going home for Christmas, there was a package in the mail that had come from Kansas City, and it was the ring.
What happened is that I was in Kansas City, and then I said, well, you're going to go back and finish your degree. But she had still, another year or two. I think I finished in, December of 68, class of 1969, but I think you finished,
72.
72. Yeah. So she went back, and what happened, I think I had a 442 Oldsmobile.
Hello.
That's what Prairie View, all the graduates from Prairie View at that time,
especially the
engineers get a 442 Oldsmobile.
And I came back with the 442.
And then, I don't know what was wrong with my mind at the time, but I let her come back with the 442 Oldsmobile. And I had a Volkswagen. Does that sound strange? What's wrong with a person's mind to give her the 442 and I'll scoot around in my Volkswagen?
Because he was teaching. I'm going to tell you right now.
You're right, I bought it because there's no easy answer for it.
He was teaching. I took care of the children. He taught. You talk about dedicated to teaching at Prairie View. He taught.
I guess it's human nature to say, you're always looking. I guess the grass is always greener somewhere else. But then if you look at, family, great children and grandchildren, and then, where you are, how are you doing well? Are you healthy? And I guess if you look at the whole thing, and like I say, if the grass always green, you always say it could be better, you could do this, but no, we're pretty well satisfied with where I am right now.
They love him. I really love me some John Ford, Dr. John Ford.
Thank you. Thank you. I love to teach. See, I use
Everything was new. I was foreign. First generation to college. So everything was new to me. And it was about 8 of us from class of 21 that came to school here. And about 67 of those, the other part of them went to Wiley College. And we were out in the back of the NYA2 where the football players were playing basketball one day. And they had some trailer houses out there. And we looked around and I said, you know what? These people studying, we got to get serious. Because we had no idea. All we knew was we wanted to go to college. And the next day I got busy. We got my books. And I got busy, started going to class.
Growing up in Bay City, we had a pretty rich football tradition. And before I got to high school, a guy named Joe Washington came to Bay City. He had been a Prairie View athlete. And at a 7th grade year, maybe he told me I was going to be his quarterback.
PV football, I want to take the time. I want you guys to give the champion from 58 to 1963 round of applause for coming back.
At Prairie View A&M University, we've been igniting passion in students for more than 140 years. It's about inspiration. It's about global influence. It's about self-expression and individuality. It's about trailblazing a path of excellence. It's about engaging in the greater community. Above all, it's about helping you realize your dreams. Ignite your passion. Experience Prairie View A&M University.
Welcome back to National Signing Day here on Panther Vision and PVAMU-TV. I'm Charles Porter, your host. I want to say thank you to head coach Tacho Tyler for taking time out of her busy schedule to come in and give us some information and some great recruits for our women's volleyball program coming at you for next year. If you need more information about our volleyball recruits and want to see what's going on, just go to our webpage at www.pvpanthers.com. And you can get all the information you want. Good luck to the Lady Panthers as they get ready to take on the Cougs of the University of Houston down at in the University of Houston in Houston, Texas on tomorrow. All right, let's skip to the next one. Entering his third season on the Hill, Coach Eric Dooley was named Prairie View University's football coach on December the 22nd, 2017. Under Dooley, the Panthers have become one of the nation's most explosive and productive offenses in the country. The 2019 campaign saw the Panthers post a 6-5 record, including another State Fair Classic win over Grambling and continued dominance over Texas Southern in the Labor Day Classic. The Panthers ranked number 4 nationally in total offense while garnering a top 25 ranking in passing offense, rushing offense, scoring offense, passing efficiency, passing defense efficiency, and sacks allowed. Panthers led the SWAC in total offense and ranked 2nd and 35th nationally in total defense. The Panthers are on the prowl and on the rise. Ladies and gentlemen, our head coach, Coach Eric Dooley. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Good afternoon to all.
It is a pleasure to have you on National Signing Day. I know the Panther Nation is abuzz talking about what's going to go on in this very, very difficult, very different type of football season. I can't remember if we've ever played a football season in the spring. Now, if you do your history, Coach, you go back and look in history. The sports programs were started here at Prairie View University as intramural programs. So they didn't play in the fall because that was planting season or picking season. And then in the spring, they had to wait until May because that was planting season. So this isn't anything strange. Of course, if you go back 140 years, it might be okay. But man, what a different type of atmosphere it's been with this COVID-19 pandemic.
It's difficult, but I like to say challenging. But most of all, I like to give hats off to my assistant coaches as well as my players. For this challenging time, such as this right here, they weathered the storm. I know the storm is not over with, but I like to say we're going through the storm. We're not stopping. We're going through the storm. So there's some light at the end of this tunnel right here. But these young men have come and done a good job. Something that they wasn't accustomed to. They had to go through the academic side of it for as being online and go through those challenges and then go back to other challenges being at home, something that they wasn't accustomed to and being in a strange situation. But, most have weathered the storm and they're here today and we're preparing for an exciting season.
Coach, you brought a lot of professionalism, a lot of tradition and honor to our football program. You instituted the Panther Walk, which is when you go and pay homage to the Panther right before your home games. How'd you come up with that? Tell us about that.
Well, to me, it's always about a pride thing. You got to honor where you got to love being where you are. And I want the guys to know. So my thing was you have to learn the song as well. Those guys, they started off a little edgy, didn't understand what I was trying to accomplish. But now it's a pride thing. And they want to sing that song. They want to be a part of that song. So, and it makes you give more to the university now because you understand what the university is providing for you. So it's something that I came up with. I can't say that it's all by myself, but it's just something that I know that we needed to, because every time I walked to the MSC and I saw that Panther, I said, something needs to come out here. We need to come here to make sure that we let the campus understand what this brings to the table.
You've had some good seasons. If you don't win it all, you don't think it's a good season. I know how you're thinking. But you've played some really, really, really close games, man. And I'm just thinking about when we went down and played Alcorn. That just kind of brings back the memory. A couple of years ago, we went down and played Alcorn, and then we were just right there. Just a couple of blocks, just one missed tackle. I mean, we're right there with this program, and it's an exciting, explosive program. When we played University of Houston, we shocked those folks. They did not understand the offensive power that you had put together. A lot of people didn't realize during the game we had several injuries on defense. And when you play a team like the University of Houston, who has a fifth string, and we only have a third string, and we start beating our players up, it's very, very difficult to overcome some of that. So, you have gone out to beat the bushes to kind of combat that with your recruiting, to try to fill in those places. You've got a banner recruiting year, and we're excited about it. So let's start off by talking about the new recruits that you're bringing to Prairie View A&M University.
Absolutely. I'm excited. To me, this is like Christmas for me. When you get a chance to talk about the guys that you were able to go out and get, well, I should say the assistant coaches been able to beat the bushes and go out and bring these young men to be a part of our family. I start off with Angel Lopez, a kid out of Brandon High School out of San Antonio. He's an offensive lineman, can play multiple positions. You're talking about 6'2", 280 pounds. He's part of the Spanish Honor Society. So this young man, two-time first team all-district guy. We're very excited about getting this young man to become a part of our program. Then we go down to we stayed here in Texas. We got a lot of home flavor right here. We got a lot of seasoning right here from Texas. And so it should be. We got Kamon Samuel, a guy out of Lamar High School, a rich tradition down there at Lamar. Those guys play some exciting football right there. He's a 6'1", 185-pound defensive back. I think this young man can come and add depth to us immediately. I think he'll be able to help us out. Right now, this guy, as a senior, he accounted for 2 interceptions for a touchdown, 6 pass breakups, 30 tackles. Just a phenomenal young man. First team all district in the class of 18-6A. Some exciting football. Then we didn't look too far. We went to one of his teammates, Lamont Landry, another defensive back, 6'2", 185-pound, all district selection, 25 tackles, 13 PBUs, 1 touchdown, 1 tackle for loss, 2 catches. The young man is phenomenal, and he ran. I guess he went to one of the camps and ran like a 4.5. You're talking about a guy that's long and lengthy. That's going to add a lot of depth to our secondary. That's going to make us a much better secondary. So those young men was able to come and wanted to play together, and we're excited about those guys. But then we talk about the linebacker, where I think we're very, very strong in that department. We get Kenneth Stewart out of Stafford High School, 6 foot, 215-pound linebacker. Been starting there for over 2.5 years. A guy that's a great tackler. You're talking about career high, over 200 tackles at Stanford High. So we're excited about bringing this young man to be a part of our program, and I think he's going to be able to add to what we're talking about. But the protocol that I look at, all these young men are coming in with a 3.0 above GPA, and I'm excited about that because they understand what we're trying to get here, student athletes. Then we had a chance to step outside of Texas for a little bit, a place that I'm very, very familiar with Reggie King out of Scotlandville High School, a wide receiver that's 5'11", 185 pounds. Very, very explosive. He can play the inside slot. He can play the outside receiver. He's I want to say a great triple jumper as well as long jumper. Me and Coach Clay have had several conversations. This young man brings some real good speed to our program that we're going to need in Reggie King. Then we went right up the road to Ellison High School in Killeen, Texas. Very, very familiar with that area. You're talking about Trajan Spiller. This young man, I'm so excited to get this. I wish this young man can come lying down right now. You're talking about a 6'3", 190-pound wideout. This guy here plays baseball. He plays, runs track, and he's a football player. But, you know, just out of this short season that these guys had, this guy had 57 catches, 1,039 yards, and 10 touchdowns in 9 games. I'm excited about this young man. This young man is chopping at the bit to get here. He gives me a phone call, seems like every other day, to find out what he needs to do. So he's very, very excited about being a part of our program. And not only that, he's going to join his sister. His sister's already a Panther. She runs track here. So very excited about getting Trajan Spiller to come and be a part of our team. Then we had to go out of the state again, all the way up to Detroit. Big young man. I know that some have him listed as 6'7", some have him listed as 6'8", but talking about Allen Jones, a 6'7", 360-pound offensive lineman. I mean, massive guy, guy to be so big, got good feet. We like some of the things that he brings to the table. And the thing about it, he's a guy that did transfer it in, but we're excited about him, and he's going to be able to help us out this spring here as we get ready to line down and play in February. So we're excited about Allen Jones. Here's another guy right here from a great program here in town, Episcopal. Talk about Luis Chevery, a guy that's 6'4", 305-pound offensive lineman. I think he can play any one of the spots. He can play the tackle. He can play the guard. He can play the center. But we bring him in as a tackle, and I think he's going to be very, very useful for us. He made the Houston Chronicle Top 100. Education, winning, competing, and being a great teammate. And it's very, very important to this young man. He's been recruited by a lot of I guess FBS schools, but chose he wanted to come here. He wanted to stay home and play here, and we're very, very excited about that. We was able to go down to Lufkin, Texas, and get a quarterback in Jordan Moore, a young man that's coming out of high school, but he's already enrolled in school right now. He took care of business early, graduated, and he's here right now going through the spring. He's not eligible to play, but he's going to get a jump on a lot of individuals because he's here right now.
Here on Intermission and PVAMU-TV, I'm Charles Porter, your host.
Yes, he's a 6'2", 195-pound quarterback right out of Lufkin. Was tutored by another former quarterback that played here, but broke the single game passing yard record with 467 yards. Excited about this young man. He got some guys that he can learn behind. He had all game passing leaders with 6,200 yards. So we're excited about this young man. 3-year starter as well. Here's another young man that's coming out of Clinton, Mississippi. That's going to be able to help us out right now in Bryce Turner. This young man plays defensive back for us, but I think he can play the corner. He can play the safety as well as the nickel. We're excited about having this young man here to come and be a part. Brings a lot of experience coming out of junior college out of Mississippi. We got a good little list of guys here that you guys can see that we're bringing in that I think going to be very, very exciting. Then talking about we was able to get this guy here for the February 3rd signing in Jaden Stewart out of Pearland Dawson. You're talking about a running back that was the MVP of that district. This young man right here is going to be very, very exciting for us. He's a big back. He's like 6'1", 190 pounds. So we're excited about getting him here. This guy had over 16 touchdowns, and he was a 1,000-yard rusher this year right here, along with 14 receptions. So we're very excited about it. Of course, he was first team all-district running back because he was the MVP of that district. So we're excited about bringing Stewart aboard. Then when you talk about Jaden Steele out of Hightower, another offensive lineman, 6'5", 260 pounds. We got an opportunity to get on this young man late, but nevertheless, we were able to bring him in. We bringing him in as an offensive tackle, a 3-year letterman, all-district performer. This guy here, you talk about the senior year, he had 25 pancakes. That's good for offensive lineman when you talk about pancakes. So and he's 90% in his ranking of the top 15 in his class, so graduating with a 4.0. You're talking about that's honors right there. A guy that understand he earned both academic, all district, as well as all state honors. So we're excited about still coming to be a part of our program. This young man right here, another exciting young man. I can't wait to get him down here. Cameron Franklin out of Sweeney, Texas. He's another wide receiver. Actually, this young man can play on either side of the ball. He's what I like to call a can't miss guy. He can play defensive back, and you guys will get a chance to see when you look at some of his highlights. He can play wide out, but we're bringing him in as a wide receiver. Very exciting young man, first team all district wide receiver. Had 27 catches, 862 yards, and 9 touchdowns in 9 games. Also on the defense side of the ball, he had 6 interceptions. This young man is very, very talented. We like our choices in going down to Van Blick to get this young man, and I think he's going to be very exciting for our program. Those are the guys, some of the guys that I've mentioned that we're bringing in that I think that I know that's going to be very, very exciting for our program. They bring some depth, they bring some competition, and some of these guys are going to be ready to play. I feel good about those guys coming in and being a part of this team right now. This is a different year right now. You're talking about we're in a pandemic, and we got some guys that's going to be able to come back as well. So just depends on how creative we've become with the team that we have. We have an experienced team right now, and we was able to go out and get these young men, and we're very, very excited about it.
Obviously, have got one of the better recruiting classes in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. I know there's another school that is a buzz because of their new coach and some of the recruits that they have acquired. But we have acquired some horses out there, man. We're gonna also reload the Panthers because I tell you, Coach, we're a formidable foe, and I don't think they've given us our just due, picking us 3rd in the West this year. I think we're much better than that, and I think we're going to surprise a lot of people. But you got a lot of returners like Jake Cheatham and those kinds of guys. Tell us about some of your all-conference players, your preseason all picks for next year.
Not that you mentioned that, let me say this here. I only know what I need in my house, so I know what's needed here at Prairie View. So that's all I go out to recruit. What's going to benefit us? What's going to fit us, and what we're trying to do. And we're very excited about what we have. Whether they rank us or not, we know what we got coming in. We got some good young men. But, not only that, and then picking us 3rd, that's all fine. I mean, sometimes we just got to go out and earn that respect. Nothing is given to you. You just got to go earn it most of the time. And we up for the task. But we do have some guys that are returning that done some great things for us. And I always like to iterate that not only on the football field, but in the classroom as well. You're talking about we coming back now with about 8 to 9 guys that are in grad school right now, finishing up their last semester. Then we got 2 guys that's going to leave with their masters. So we're trying to make sure that we're taking care of that these guys are going to be successful regardless of what. But we do have a Drake Cheatham that's coming back that was all conference last year, picked to be preseason all conference this year as well. We got another young man when you talk about Jalen Harris, All-American, a guy that's been playing and been steady, already been a pro. He was a professional baseball player, and now he's coming back, and he's the young man that I'm talking about at the end of this semester would have his master's. So he came in and took care of business and did the things that was needed to be done, I should say. Then also we got Story Jackson. Notice I'm talking about a lot of guys on defense. I'm very, very familiar with the whole thing. I'm talking about a lot of guys on defense. We got Story Jackson, picked to be 2nd team preseason all conference. But this young man, I'm very, very excited about this young man. This young man, he's another one. He's going to graduate this semester as well. But this young man is playing a high level of football. And then we got the guy that I like to call my old head, Reginald Stubblefield. Stubblefield he's in grad school as well, doing some great things for us. But you're talking about the leadership back there. And then we have another All-American that's been an All-American ever since his freshman year, and Jason Dumas. So we're very excited about it. I named some guys on the defense side of the ball that's going to help us out. And we're very, very pleased with that. We got some guys. We got Trashad Smith, who's another linebacker that was all conference. That's just the defense side of the ball. But then I come back and I have a punter that was picked to be all conference as well. I'm very proud of this young man. He came in, was very young and had to be pushed into duty as a freshman. You're talking about 17 years old, not understanding the game of college football, but now he's picked to be one of the better punters in our conference. Then we talk about the offense side of the ball. We're going to have some surprises there. Some guys that they don't know their name, but I can guarantee you at the end of this season, they'll know who those guys are. But we got an experienced offensive line coming back in DeJon Jones. Those guys didn't get enough credit, I didn't think. You're talking about that offensive line have had back-to-back 1,000-yard rusher when you talk about a Dewanye Tucker, what that guy brought to the table, and that offensive line that blocked for him, DeJon Jones. You talk about Kobe Lewis, talking about Danny Garza, Reese Mallory, Arrington Taylor. The list goes on and on. You're talking about these guys right here. That's the guys I like to give the credit to, because those are the guys that's going to get it for us right there. So we're excited about those young men coming back, and we got some wideouts that I feel are going to be pretty good for us. We got some guys that are going to be pretty good for us. You're talking about a Tristan Wallace who's being phenomenal right now in practice. I just have to shake my head when I see him do certain things. We have a Christopher Johnson. Those are the old heads, him and Travis O'Connor. But then we got some young guys that's coming up right now, starting to get into that. You talk about Chris Simmons. That's you guys get a chance to see. Talk about a guy that came here and wanted to be a part of Prairie View, and I expect some exciting things from him. Kobe Washington, guy from right here. So we got some guys. We'll just line it down and play it for 60 minutes, and we'll see how the chips fall.
Coach, we were supposed to run a little video during some of your interview. We're going to try to run some of those videos as we take breaks and try to transition into the next segment. I'm going to open up a question and answer period. There's several people watching us that might have a few questions. We got time for maybe about 3 or 4, maybe 5 questions. If you can get them in here quickly, I'll give people time to prepare for that. I want to remind you, though, Coach, you get started on February the 27th, pardon me, down in Dallas, Texas. The State Fair Classic, is the fair going to be really going on? But that's the coin. I'm just being silly. The State Fair Classic in February down in Dallas, Texas. Tickets are on sale right now, folks. Online today, and fans can start buying tickets in person on Friday from 5 to 7. And then, on Thursday, from 5 to 7. And then on Friday from 1 to 5. So you kick your season off this February the 27th. We'll get a brief showcase of what's to come in 21 next fall.
Yes.
All right, Coach. Well, we're so excited about what you've done for our program. We're behind you 1,000%. Let's see. Spot the Ball will join her. A dangerous team this year, Mr. Kerry Mickens. Ricky Dorsey wants to send kudos and tell you you're doing a great job. Elvis Prince is ready to see the Panthers. Juan Hill says he liked that we shored up the O-line. Brandon Bell can't wait to season start. Richard Atiba, it says great pickups, Coach, and you're getting a lot of support. G. Boom Holly can't wait for the spring season to start, and neither can I. You can catch all the play-by-play in color live. Hopefully we'll be able to bring video, but we'll definitely be able to bring the audio as the Panthers travel to Dallas, Texas to take on the Tigers of Grambling State. Coach, any final words?
Yeah, you know what? I kudos to those guys chiming in and speaking well of the team. But you know what? I can't wait to see you guys. I can't wait to see you guys so we can put the show on the road and you guys can see what the Panthers have to bring this year right here. I'm glad that you guys been supporting us, and keep up the hollering, keep up the whistling for those guys. Those guys like to see you in the stands, and we can't wait. February 27th, want to see you in Dallas.
Who you rooting for? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Coach Eric Dooley, our head football coach at Prairie View University, for stopping by and showing us talking about all of the exciting recruits that we have coming up for next year. Stick around. We're getting ready to take a commercial break, but of course, again, I want to remind you that tickets are on sale for the State Fair Classic. They're on sale online today. You can start in-person purchasing Thursday from 5 to 7, and then Friday from 1 o'clock to 5 p.m. in the ticket office there on the campus of Prairie View A&M University. It's going to be an exciting spring season. Stick around. Coming up, another Southwestern Athletic Conference champion, Coach Sonia Carvello. This is Panther Vision and PVAMU-TV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Are we there? Welcome back to National Signing Day here on Panther Vision and PVAMU-TV. I'm Charles Porter, your host. Great stuff there with Coach Tacho Tyler and Coach Eric Dooley, our women's volleyball coach and our men's football coach. Last year, one of our soccer team did something that has not been done before, and they've come very, very, very close. Only the second time in our history that we have won the Southwestern Athletic Conference title under the direction of head coach Sonia Carvello. Carvello is entering in her third season at the helm of the Lady Panthers soccer team after joining Prairie View University as the third head coach in the history of the program back in August of 2018. The 2019 season was one for the history books for Prairie View A&M soccer, as the team put together one of the most dominant campaigns by a Southwestern Athletic Conference team in soccer history in the program. The Panthers went 13-8, the first double-digit win by our program in 5 seasons. Along the way, Prairie View A&M set a new program record for conference wins, 9, and at one point had amassed a 10-match winning streak, 9 of them via shutout. The season culminated in the Lady Panthers' first Southwestern Athletic Conference tournament crown, and it was the first time Prairie View University entered the NCAA College Cup as league champions. 5 Lady Panthers received all SWAC honors: Diana Neff, JoJo Bernal, Ashley Chala, Quinn Josiah, and Alex Fields. Additionally, Kayla Brown won SWAC tournament MVP honors, and Andrea Nugent earned all tournament honors. Coming to you live, our head women's soccer coach, Coach Sonia Carvello. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Charles?
I'm doing great. I am so excited to finally get an interview. You know, we've been trying to get this thing done for almost 3 years now, but I'm so glad to finally get you on. We are excited about your signees for this year. The Prairie View A&M University Nation is abuzz after just an exciting year last year. You know, when I opened up, I said something that you hadn't done in history, and we were co-champs. I can't remember the year. Charge it to my mind, not my heart. But we've been co-champs in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. But this last year, you sat atop all alone, all by yourself, with some commanding wins over your opponents. What a great season you had last year.
Yeah, it was definitely a great season. We set the standard really high, and we were able to achieve it during that 2019 season. So, I do, look forward with our new signees coming in our 2021 class. Right now, we do have 4, and I think they're going to be very powerful. It might be a small number, but the quality is going to be there, and that's going to be extremely important for our program to continue to grow. We have Yaya that's coming in from Texas, just North Texas. She's going to come in as a center mid and do great things for us. We're going to have some of our older players graduating in 2022, so it's going to be very important that she gets minutes on the field, and also competing for a starting spot right away as well, but also lead in midfield as the years come when she comes as a sophomore or junior, senior. So, it's important to, yes, recruit right now for what we need, but also looking at, the long term of how we want to grow in the next few years. So, and I feel that these 4 will be able to provide that. We have another goalkeeper coming in from Toronto, Ontario. Quinn Josiah, has done great work for us, but she's going to be the keeper that's going to come in and eventually replace Quinn. So, just with her size, strong on the ball, her feet, I think she's going to definitely provide the 18-yard box command that she offers with her presence. And I think that's going to be a big game changer. So she does have big shoes to fill, but I am confident that she'll come in here and compete right away. She wants to win championships as well. So I think that's important too when you're looking at, bringing in the right players. They all have that ambition to want to, do more than just win championships. They want to also compete in the NCAA tournament to get through that first round and also close the gap between where we are right now and the best teams in the country. So, that's what we're trying to shoot here for. The next player is Bailey too, comes from one of the top clubs, 2 ECNL programs in the DAs. for US. So she's going to be a great addition also to the midfield. She's going to provide creativity in the attacking mid. She's versatile as well, too. So she can play up top, Bailey Johnson. So Savannah Powell, she's going to be very, very powerful for the front forward for us. I think she's going to do a tremendous job with scoring goals and providing us, the strength that we need to really close the gap between us and the best teams in the world, or in our country too. Okay.
I believe you. Best team in the world. I think you said it. I totally agree with you.
And I think you're really big, right? But I think it's important, right? So, because I want my players to know that they can achieve greatness, and that's what we're shooting for. And I think the way we want to progress here and move the program forward. We have to expect the best from ourselves every day, and I think that's the message I want to continue to send my players and for our program, for our fans, our supporters.
Absolutely, Coach. You get it started this week. You get it going this Friday as Incarnate Word comes to town. We'll be under the lights at 7 o'clock in the Prairie View A&M University Soccer Stadium, and we're just tremendously excited. But as we talk, I never got a chance to sit down and chat with you after that huge win over Howard University to go to the NCAA championship. As you know, folks, Howard is in our conference as a competitor. Howard had a storied program. They had been winning through leaps and bounds for 4 or 5 years in a row. I mean, they had a good team. But your ladies bit down on the bullet and brought the heart and the fierceness of a Panther down, and you guys defeated them at their house. I mean, how incredible was that for you?
Yeah, I think it was such an incredible experience, but seeing the hard work, the preparation that we needed to do to get to basically that level to overcome Howard. So I know they've been the powerhouse team within our conference and have done really well in competing against other schools out of conference as well. So, we wanted to make sure that we were going to be on top. And I think, even sharing that co-division title was something that we had to share in the regular season. But I knew that when we had to face them again, that the result was going to be in our favor. And I think that game that we had to play against them in regular season was just very important for our growth. But the preparation that we've had to do all year, like I'm talking about from the spring to summer, to the fall, it was incredible. So I know how we start going into Incarnate Word will be very different than how we prepared in the past, just because of the pandemic that we're in and the different type of preparation that we've had to do. So it's going to be definitely a unique year for our program. But I do feel that, I think with the experience that we have from the past, we do have a lot of players that have returned that, know what that feels like, but understand the importance of the day-to-day work that we have to do. It is a process, and we're going to do the best that we can to compete in each game. I think the biggest thing that I'm, just talking to the players right now, it's just the day-to-day training, the day-to-day focus, the moments in training that I think are going to be so important, in the effort, just giving 100%, even when you're tired. I know right now my players aren't recovering as quickly as I would like for them to be, just because of the preparation that we haven't been able to have in a fall season, in the summer, typically from last year. So, that's where I feel like we have to kind of, just be patient. I think that's a big word I've been using with my team as well, because it is going to be a process this season. But I do think we're going to do really well again.
Coach, we're going to open it up for some questions and answers. And while our viewers get ready and prepared for their questions, I just kind of want to go over your schedule. You open up this Friday on the campus of Prairie View A&M University against Incarnate Word. And then you return on Sunday right here at this Panther soccer complex with a game against Stephen F. Austin. And then, of course, when we travel to Dallas, Texas, you'll be going with us that Friday. And you guys will take on Grambling State down in Grambling, Louisiana. Y'all going to try to make the trip back up so y'all catch the game. But tell us about how you're feeling about going into this season and this shortened season, this pandemic season. How is the atmosphere of your program going in such a difficult time?
I think the players have really done well just to adjust to the whole lifestyle right now. I think especially January, they had to like completely change their day-to-day lives, even their academically too. So for going completely online for most of their classes, I felt that they've excelled. We ended up getting a 3.67 GPA from fall semester. So I'm seeing my players staying committed to their academics and still want to be able to come on the field, compete. They've just been waiting for this moment for Friday to happen for a long time. So I know that they're excited, and I think just the day-to-day focus is going to be critical. We've worked with our sports psych that has been crucial also to the players' development during this pandemic. We do a lot of things where we discuss just special topics, things that, I just had our players do a characteristic strengths just on Tuesday so that they can learn more about themselves as people. And it's important for the coaches to understand their players, not just as student athletes, but as individuals, and just kind of work with them and try to get the best out of them every day. So, and I do feel, that my players have done that. I've been, there's moments in the last few weeks I've been pretty tough on them too, just to make sure that they stay, just stay on task, focus on what's at hand. When they're in school, I expect them to focus on school. When they're in training and working on specific tactics that we need to be able to execute. And I felt that they've been doing that. So I just ready to see them, just take the field and be able to implement all of the things that we've been working on and put into action on Friday.
Coach, I just got a note. Stephen F. Austin's game on Sunday has been canceled, so I apologize for that. I didn't see that on the schedule. But, Coach, I tell you, you're at 25% capacity at your stadium. Is that correct?
That is correct. So 124 fans will be able to watch the match. It'll be first come, first serve. So get there early because I do expect there to be a good turnout. But if fans are not able to get into, the game or want to watch from home or not able to make the travel, there will be a live stream as well link.
Right here at www.pvpanthers.com. We're excited about it. And thanks for the plug, Coach.
All right.
Well, Coach, if y'all want to see a fierce competitor, if you really want to see some fun action at a soccer match, you better get there early because Coach Carvello, I think she still thinks she's a player in the back of her mind. But when she's pacing up and down there, she doesn't give the officials any room for error. You got to come out and see it. It's going to be great, Coach. A couple of questions. Let's see. No questions, just a bunch of kudos. So we're going to mention those. Mick Dog 7, whoever that is, says, really good team, Coach. You're doing a great job. Juan Hill also says, you're doing a good job. G Boom Holly is saying, hey, bring that title back home to Panther land. Richard Artiba says, Coach Carvello has a dynasty in the making. Coach Will Jordan, my frat bro, says, build the dynasty. Ricky Dorsey says, we're back to back, Coach. They're giving you some big shoes to fill. And Brandon Bell says, all I see is major goals in our future. Man, that's exciting. How many walk-ons do you have on your team?
Walk-ons, we have less than 5 players. So most of them are on scholarship. We do have partials scholarships as well. So we're hoping to close the gap there so that we can add a bigger roster in the future. So that's one of my goals here too. So it's not just for us to continue to win the championships. We have to make sure we close the gap in that area as well.
Coach, thank you so much for stopping by and checking in with us on National Signing Day. You've got 4 horses in the corral ready to be let out to pasture, and we just can't wait. Good luck this Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Sonia Carvello bringing back a dynasty to Prairie View A&M University in women's soccer. Thank you so much, Coach.
All right. Thanks for having me, and thank you to our supporters.
Ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We're going to take a break, about a 4-minute intermission, and come back with men and women's tennis. This is the Panther Vision PVAMU-TV production of National Signing Day.
At Prairie View A&M University, we've been igniting passion in students for more than 140 years. It's about inspiration. It's about global influence. It's about self-expression and individuality. It's about trailblazing a path of excellence. It's about engaging in the greater community. Above all, it's about helping you realize your dreams. Ignite your passion. Experience Prairie View A&M University.
everything was new. I was foreign, first generation to college, so everything was new to me. And remember, it was about 8 of us from class of 21 that came to school here, and about 67 of those, the other part of them went to Wiley College. And we were out in the back of the NYA2 where the football field, they were playing basketball one day. And they had some trailer houses out there. And we looked around and I said, you know what? These people studying, we better get serious. Because we had no idea. All we knew we wanted to go to college. And the next day I got busy. We got my books. And I got busy, started going to class.
Growing up in Bay City, we had a pretty rich football tradition. And before I got to high school, a guy named Joe Washington came to Bay City. He had been a Prairie View athlete. And at a 7th grade year, maybe he told me I was going to be his quarterback.
PV football, I want to take the time. I want you guys to give the champion from '58 to 1963 round of applause for coming back.
I'm never satisfied with what they do. I'm appreciative, so they give 100%. But I always see something that can be improved.
He helped usher in a new era of marching bands. And 40 years after his arrival on the Hill, evidence of his performance style and legacy plays on today through modern day band performances.
let me tell you, the band at Prairie View at that time when I got in the band, it was so small that when we would go to play certain schools, I remember one school in Louisiana, which shall remain nameless. Our band was so small that when we arrived and marched in the stadium, the fans at that particular school literally laughed at us. That we had the audacity, is what they told us. You could hear them from the crowd saying that they didn't believe that we had the nerve, to show up. But we did. We had very proud band students, and we knew that our day was coming.
Before he got here. Well, see, and George and I came the same year. See, all right. I came about a month before he got here. So prior to us getting here, prior to my getting here, there were no scholarships. There was no financial support for the band. And just as I said, we would go out with financial aid applications trying to recruit students to come to be a part of the band. And so there was no financial incentive, no awards, no stipends, whatever you would call it, for the band. All right. So when we got here, I think there were 4 people in band camp. And as the year progressed, we got to the first game, we may have had 40, 50, 60, and eventually it grew up to as many as 96.
George was a one-of-a-kind individual. First of all, he was a perfectionist.
He was a very angry man, but he was a kind-hearted angry man. When you first meet him, I mean, it's very, what's the word? It's very scary when you first meet him because you don't know him. It's intimidating. But then once you get to know him and you learn his musical genius, it's like this guy knows everything there is to know about music. And then he's a saxophonist, and I play saxophone. So everything I thought I knew about saxophone, no.
I mean, a mentor, a father figure, a friend, everything that epitomizes a strong Black man, he was that.
George Edwards, who many former students and colleagues refer to Professor Edwards as simply Prof. Edwards, was born November 5th, 1948 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The youngest child of the family, little George Edwards, discovered his love for bands while in elementary school.
Yeah, I remember when we were kids, we were watching a late night movie, John Philip Sousa, and he made the remark that that's what I want to do. And I'm like, well, what? He said, I want to write music for marching bands. I like marching bands. I'm like, okay, really? Because we were listening to those type of marching.
The tenacious 17-year-old set his eyes and heart on the Florida Panhandle and took his musical talent to Florida A&M University. He successfully auditioned and joined the FAMU Marching 100 and even penned compositions that the 100 still plays today.
He didn't have a scholarship to go to Florida A&M, so he was going on down there anyway. And he got in the band and everything. He got there, he was working for prop, things like that, but he always loved music.
From high school graduating there, he received a scholarship, but I don't know to what university. But his heart was set on the HBCU, which was FAMU, and Mom said she couldn't afford to send him since he had already gotten money for this school. So he packed up, went down there, got into school, got a job, and he called back and said, I'm in.
Yeah, I went to school at FAMU with him. Lindsay, George, and myself were at FAMU at the same time. Of course, they were older than me. I was a freshman there, George's senior year, and Lindsay's sophomore year. So George didn't like for me to say that.
Welcome back to National Signing Day here on campus of Prairie View A&M University. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Charles Porter, your host. We are just so excited about our prospects for the 21 fall sports season, the 21-22 season. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, Adidas, Sodexo, Houston Methodist Hospital at Willowbrook, Pepsi, and Mustang Cat Sand Hill Golf Course. Thank you for all you do for the purple and gold, ladies and gentlemen. Our next interviewee is Coach Dwayne Williams, the head coach for the men and women's tennis team. A native of Barbados, Williams brings a wealth of experience as a player, a coach, and an experienced success in both the collegiate and international realms of competition. A 2002 graduate of Hofstra University in Hempstead, New York, Williams was a part of a 3 American East Conference championship as a player. At the international level, Williams competed for Barbados 6 times in the American zones of qualifiers for the Davis Cup, tennis premier international team event. He also represented Barbados at the Pan American Games and Central American and Caribbean Games in 2003. That year, Williams was also the singles and doubles champion at the SO Nationals in Barbados. Williams' tenure at Prairie View University included 2 Southwestern Athletic Conference men's tennis championships in 2010 and again in 2013. Williams also served as the resident tennis coaching professional at the clubs in 2 nations. Between his stint as the assistant coach at Prairie View A&M University, Williams served as the coaching tennis professional at Forest Oak Swim and Racket Club in Spring, Texas, where he implemented the training program for the Junior Academy for players age 11 and 18. He also developed the Quick Start program for players under the age of 10. Following his graduation from Hofstra, Williams was the head tennis professional at Sandy Lane Resort in St. James, Barbados, where he oversaw all aspects of tennis, the department, and provided instructions to guests. Ladies and gentlemen, our head tennis coach, Dwayne Williams. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing, Mr. Porter?
Man, I'm so glad to be here, man. Blessed and highly favored. So glad to have you on our production today, man. You've been doing a great job with our men's tennis programs. We're so excited about what's going on the court out there. We're doing a lot of good things out there. We've got a super duper star out there that's just beating people to death out there. So we'll talk about him in just a moment. But we're asking all of the coaches.
Okay.
How tough has it been to recruit in this atmosphere of this pandemic?
It's been very tough. Normally for me, I have some international guys and girls on my team, so I'm used to getting emails and kind of doing things virtually anyway. Mm-hmm. However, we're getting a lot of interest from the local kids, the Texas kids, so which is what I want. But it makes it tough now because I can't actually go and see them live. So they're reaching out to me and saying, "Hey, coach, we're playing this tournament. Come see me play." And unfortunately, I can't do that. So, that in that respect, it's pretty tough.
In the midst of this storm, you've still been successful on the court. I mean, you've gone out and you've beat in some great players, but your perspective on what's to come for Prairie View is very, very bright. Tell us some of the things that you've done to keep your program top notch on the Hill.
Well, with us in this climate, we're a little bit different as a sport. We're lower risk, so my players have stayed very active. I still have some players they went out and played a few tournaments. They also, they really, thanks to our strength and conditioning programs here at Prairie View, they've stayed very active even if they're at home. So that helped me when they came back this semester that, we didn't have to completely rebuild everything. So we kind of hit the ground running in January when we started playing. So that was a huge, huge bonus for us.
Some of your recruits, you've got a young lady named Jada Hill from right down the street in Missouri City, Texas. Talk about our recruits for this year.
So I'm really, really excited about Jada. She's a young player from right here, just in Missouri City. So basically Houston. I see a lot of potential in Jada. She's a good player, but she's very athletic, very strong. So, she kind of hounded me. She really wants to be at Prairie View. So I always love that in recruits. But I'm expecting some good things from her. She's an aggressive player, which I like. So we're looking to build on that and kind of get her to improve even more once she gets up here on the hill.
So Jada, your only recruit of the year. That's your only recruit. I know you were trying to get some other players.
No. So I also have Gabrielle Leslie from my home country, Barbados.
Okay.
So Gabrielle, she, and you just showed a picture of her real quick. Gabrielle doesn't want her hitting a forehand kind of in the ear. So technically, she's the number 2 player in Barbados. However, they just had a tournament over Christmas, and she beat the number 1 lady in Barbados. So, wow. Yeah, so she's very good. She's very consistent, and we're going to look to build that aggression in her. So that's Jada that we're seeing here, and this is Gabrielle. And Gabrielle has a wealth of experience coming into us. She played a lot of tournaments internationally. She has a International Tennis Federation ranking in juniors. So she's gonna bring that experience from traveling and playing all over the world to here on the hill and add that to our women's team. So I think the women's team is going to be definitely stronger next year.
On the men's side of the court, Coach, tell us about some of the recruits that you got coming in on the other side of it.
So on the men's side, we're looking at some players. We have a guy from Georgia that we're still kind of talking with, and we have some other players from some other international guys. Right now, we're trying to decide what we're going to do. We also have, our seniors can stay as well too if they choose to. So that gives us an extra year of experience added to our roster. So we have a lot of prospects that we're considering. We just haven't pulled the plug yet. We always want to get the best and just make us stronger every year. If we can get better and better, that's what I want.
Coach, you've already got 2 championships under your belt, and I know every year each coach strives to win that championship, Coach. But I know you're putting some things in place so that we can bring in another trophy here to Prairie View A&M University. What is your outlook on the 21 season?
Well, I'm hungry for another championship, and more so for the women too. We need one under their belt. The outlook right now is really good. So our men's team, we have Jorge Juarez. He's a junior, and he's already racked up some wins this semester against some really, really tough teams. Our upperclassmen, they're working hard, and we have some freshmen that we brought in, and the upperclassmen are kind of showing them how it's done around here. The freshmen we have a wealth of talent with them. So we're just really, because we didn't get to work as much as we wanted it in the fall due to COVID, they're getting to kind of jump in the deep end here this semester. We got lucky on the women's side. Honestly, we have the exact same team on the women's side. We didn't have any seniors. So this is really 2 years we've been able to develop them. We had one girl last year who was a redshirt, so she's now playing. So, there's a team we really, really worked on developing them from last year. And this year they're starting to show it on the court. We had some matches where we took the doubles point. So that means we won the doubles. And then we're getting we had a win from our number 1 girl from Venezuela in the singles. So we're heading in the direction that we want. It's still early, so we have some time. So I like where we're going.
A couple of questions coming from from your fans out there in Pantherland. How many players do you have on scholarship, and how many are walk-on players?
Okay, so on the men's side, we have 2 walk-ons and 6 on scholarship. And then,
because a lot of people want to know if their student or their child wants to come and play, how can they walk on to the team?
Well, they, basically they just contact me. On the women's side, we have one walk-on. So they contact me like any other recruit. They have to have obviously experience in junior tennis. We're definitely looking for the best. But one of our walk-ons, he's in the honors program. So, he's still on scholarship, is just not coming from athletics. So, there are different options that you can do. But the easiest way is to reach out to me, send me an email, give me a call to my cell phone, because I'm usually out on the court somewhere. But I'm very easy to get in contact with, and we can have them. I'll take a look and see their level, and if we're good enough, you make the team. It's simple as that.
I'll give you a moment in just a second to give out that email address for those that are interested. I got a couple more questions. Willard Joyner wants to know, it wants to make a comment saying a very international feel on this tennis teams. How are you reaching those international students? And I think maybe he got in late because you say you're doing most of that virtually, because when you reach the international students, that's how you've been getting in touch with them. So, how that's helpful for you?
Normally I get tons of emails every day from literally all over the world. And we'll do video calls, whether it be Skype or Zoom or, just even a WhatsApp call, and we will, talk to them. They send me videos all the time. I tell a lot of recruits, especially this day and age, is easy. Everyone has a phone. When you go to practice, take a video with your phone and send it to me. You don't need to do a whole big production. And really 90% of the recruits, that's how they get in touch with me.
Finally, G-Boom Holly wants to know, with having that many seniors, will you have enough players to meet those requirements for the matches? With having those seniors, will there be enough matches for everyone?
Okay, yeah. So the way how a tennis team works, we have 8 players, 8 men, 8 women. We play 3 doubles matches and then 6 singles matches. So at the most, we might just have 2 players that don't play. Like I said, tennis, we're a low risk sport, so our schedule is pretty full. Our schedule didn't change that much. I've actually had teams asking for more matches. So I try to give everyone, a little bit of experience playing, but we basically put the best 6 on our team out there, and we have tons of matches right now to get that experience, and we're just looking forward to our SWAT pod that's coming up in February, and that's our first target. We're looking to take some teams down there.
Coach, a couple of other comments. Tennis has been quietly balling the last 3 seasons. Balling? Okay, I'll take that. Let's see. Great start to the season, Coach. Good luck. And Willard Joyner is he's really chiming in talking about keep it going, Coach. Keep it going.
I'm trying to. No, my players are hungry. Usually, even outside of practice, you'll find them out on the courts, just getting that work in. And we really want some rings here.
Man, believe me, it's a wonderful thing to have. Coach, go ahead and give out that email address for people who want to send you some information.
So my email is DU Williams, which is my last name, at PVAMU.edu. So D as in dog, U as in umbrella, Williams at PVAMU.edu.
Coach, thanks a lot for taking time out of your busy schedule to stop by and talk to the Panther fans and us here on Panther Vision and PVAMU-TV. We're excited for you. When's your next match?
So we had to cancel some upcoming matches.
That's why I wanted to ask.
Is that season. So right now, our next match would be our women go to Stephen F. Austin, but our next match in the area, and that match is on the 11th of February. But our next match in the area, we play U of H, University of Houston on February 13th.
Okay, Coach. Well, good luck in those endeavors. I wanted to make sure I asked because, it's a week-to-week thing with these cancellations.
Yeah, it really is. And those matches are for the women. The next men's match will be, we take the team to Baton Rouge for our first SWAT pod. So we got some conference play in about 2 weeks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Dwayne Williams, our head men and women's tennis coach. coming to you live from the campus of Prairie View A&M University. Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Well, folks, thank you. Folks, while today we spotlight the future of athletics, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the present state of the affairs here on the Hill. It's looking quite bright. Whether it's national leaders, undefeated streaks, or academic excellence, you name it, it's happening right here at Prairie View A&M. First, let's congratulate our student athletes for an exceptional fall semester. I mean, they're just doing fantastic. Faced with the most unique set of circumstances, these young men and women prove the mantra that Prairie View A&M University produces productive people. In all, 178 athletes achieved a grade point average of 3.0 or better, 50 of them posting 4.0 GPAs. As a whole, the Prairie View A&M University student population achieved a grade point average of 3.28, with teams, track and field, encompassing indoor and outdoor as well as cross country, achieving the GPA of 3.0 or above. Women's tennis, 3.7. Women's bowling, 3.7. Women's soccer, 3.6. Women's golf, 3.6. Softball, 3.4. Baseball, 3.4. Women's track and field, 3.4. Men's tennis, 3.25, women's volleyball 3.2, men's track and field 3.1, men's golf 3.3, and women's basketball with a across-the-board 3.0. Not only have we been getting done in the classroom, but we're also getting it done on the court. The men's basketball team has continued to dominate the Southwestern Athletic Conference, sitting atop of the league with a 6-0 SWAC record, while pushing our home winning streak to 31 games in a row. You know, have you realized the men's basketball team have won 31 in a row? The second longest active winning streak in the nation. So kudos to Coach Byron Smith and his guys. With efforts like that, standout individuals have been surely followed by guard Cam Mack, who's recently named the SWAC's Men's Basketball Player of the Week. He leads the country in assists at 8.4 per game. Additionally, teammate Jeremiah Gambrell has lit up the scoreboard on his way to winning a Boxtro National Player of the Week and College Sports Madness SWAC Player of the Week honors. Elsewhere, of course, our volleyball team looks the part of a champion on the early front, as the Lady Panthers are starting the season 4-0 with a trio of impressive wins in SWAC play. We've seen Jakarta Hope win our Setter of the Week. Kamara Coffey has won a Newcomer of the Week award as well, and that's in the indication of what's going to go on with Panther volleyball in the rest of the season. We'll be having some championships coming back to Panther Land. Football season, on the rise, on the horizon, rather. It'll be here before you know it. Our guys are back in the saddle in the State Fair Classic, which is just days away. The Panthers recently had 8 all-SWAC selections, 6 on the first team and 2 on the second team. And we talked about Danny Garza, DeJohn Jones, Jason Dumas, Trashad Smith, Story Jackson, Drake Cheatham, Jalen Harris, and Caleb Dearborn. On the tennis courts, George Juarez Caballero is making a claim as one of the best in the conference, and he's won 5 straight singles titles. He'll try to go for 6 this Friday as the Panther tennis team gets into action against the University of Incarnate Word. Professionally, one of our own will try to etch his name in football immortality as former Panther standout Quentin Bell and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. We're rooting for you, Q. Bring back one of those jerseys so I can map it and put it in my man cave. And last but not least, the dual threat quarterbacks in our program history has landed with the Indianapolis Colts as Jalen Morton inked his reserves contract with the team. We're making waves everywhere, and we're far from being done, ladies and gentlemen, as you can hear from the testament of these coaches and our recruiting class. Stick around, man. It's going to be exciting as we talk to head coach Byron Smith and men's basketball. This is National Signing Day on Panther Vision and PVAMU-TV.
1/100 секунды. Итак, в этом финале старт принимает Альберто Контарена по второй дорожке. Замечательный спортсмен.
Came to Prairie View in June of 1966 after graduating from high school. And it was a great atmosphere with lots of students from rural towns all over Texas mainly. So a lot of people from small towns with small town backgrounds and high aspirations to get an education here, one that was implanted in their minds from their teachers and ministers and parents that Prairie View was a way to a better life. I was not a great athlete in high school. I didn't make the state championships in sports and any of them, even though I played them all. I had this love of baseball because baseball was the big deal in my high school, and I went out for the baseball. But the baseball coach decided that we were losing very bad, and he decided that he's going to take us off to the track and make us run. And I ran faster in baseball uniform and tennis shoes than some of the athletes that were on the track team. And the track coach was there timing it. The next day, baseball coach cut me and told me that I didn't play baseball anymore, I ran track. When I went out for the track team, I made the track team, but I wasn't a superstar. I was basically one of the slowest guys on the team. Here's a kid that in May of 1966 could not make it out of the district championship in his district in high school. 2 years later, June of 1968, they selected 16 athletes in the U.S. in every event to go to the Olympic trial. And I'm number 16 in the United States. They liked the idea that a guy from a Prairie View could compete against athletes from UCLA and Oregon and Villanova and on an equal footing. So I had a lot of people that were rooting for me. I knew there weren't 3 people in the entire world that could run a 400 meters as fast as I could. I knew that. So going into the Olympic Games, I had that type of confidence. I won a gold medal in the 4x4 relay, or as we call it here in America, the mile relay, and I won a silver medal in the 400-meter dash.
Back. It's Newhouse, United States. Right up on Jenkins now. And also going well right on the outside is Maxie Boggs.
I can't explain to you what happened in 18 months that took me from not being able to win the district in my high school district to setting the national record in the NAIA. All I can tell you is that God still creates miracles. And I think I am a product of God's blessing.
In lane 2, Newhouse leads. Wantarina cutting down on the Little American. And Wantarina comes through in lane 2. Newhouse tying up. The Cuban drives for the line and on his way to a second goal. Goal for Cuba.
The highest value of Prairie View University. And it is my great honor to present you with a 2019 Distinguished Alumnus Medal.
Welcome back to National Signing Day on the campus of Prairie View A&M University. I'm Charles Porter, your host. Next up, I apologize. I said we were going to have Byron Smith. He's at 2:30. I'm sorry. Let's get these spectacles back in gear, folks. But next up is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world of America. I like to tease her about it a lot. Former Olympian and Seton Hall Hall of Famer, My good friend Angela Williams is in her 12th season as Prairie View A&M University's head women's track and field coach and cross country coach. In 2015, the Lady Panthers finished second in the SWAC cross country championship for the second straight season, as Constance Jacob earned second team All-American honors. Danica Booker, get it right, won in the 60-meter hurdles. Nikisha Bailey took second place finish in the high jump, which led Prairie View to a fifth place finish in the Southwestern Athletic Conference Indoor Championship. For the second straight year, the Lady Panthers finished third in the SWAC Outdoor Championships as Bookman won her second consecutive title in the 400-meter while finishing second in the 100-meter hurdles. Bailey won the high jump. Jada Kerbman Jackson finished 1 and 2 in the heptathlon, and Christine Powers finished second in the pole vault, as did the mile relay with Takara Coleman, Brandlin Williams, and Bookman qualified for the NCAA regionals and the 400-meter hurdles for the second straight year. My good friend Angela Williams. Good afternoon, Coach. How you doing out there?
Good afternoon. How are you?
I know you're laughing at me because you got my text, because you know I tease Coach Williams. That's my good friend. I remember when she first got here, we had a lot of fun together, just trying to put a program back together that had struggled in the shadows of such greatness. But we've been working to put it back together, Coach. You've been doing a great job for us. Still out there beating the bushes, trying to recruit and get some more athletes here to bring Prairie View A&M University another track and field championship.
Yes. Working hard to get it done.
Tell us about some of your recruits this year.
Well, I've signed one. I have several that I'm looking at, and I'm making sure I'm vetting them well to see if they fit into our program. I have a young lady that has signed already. Her name is Jordan Garnett. She is out of Brooklyn, New York, where I am actually from. And she attended St. Joseph's High School, which I went there in my junior year. It's a private school. I think it probably has about 100 students. It's actually closing this year if it has not closed already. And now she's at Bishop Loughlin High School. That's where Mark Jackson actually graduated from, the great basketball player, now commentator. She is 800 and up. So she fills the gaps that I'm always looking for in the distance races. Excellent student, 1,100 on the SAT, 3.1 overall GPA. She's top 4 in the state of New York in the 3,000. And wonderful family. And I think she's going to be a great addition to the distance program that I've been trying to build here at Prairie View. And she's already been admitted to the university.
Man, that's fantastic. I know there are a lot of people that you're still inking in. Track season hadn't actually really began for the spring, and with this pandemic going on, there's just so many cancellations, so much going on. It's just been so difficult to go out and ink in athletes. How's that been affecting your program, trying to go out and recruit in this pandemic?
Well, I mean, the way that I recruit, I work with each athlete individually. I don't do mass recruiting. I do one-on-one, and I get to kind of know them. It's been difficult because I haven't been able to bring them to campus to show them the beautiful facilities that we have, to meet with academic specialists to see how strong we are academically here at Prairie View, and also to meet with our compliance office and academic offices here to show how we service our student athletes and how we try to maintain that mantra of a student athlete, not just an athlete. But the ones that I am looking at, what they're doing now is trying to make sure that they run well enough once they get into meets starting in February, so that the races that they ran a year ago or 2 years ago, they can still kind of duplicate it for me. I do have one that I'm actually ready to sign, and she's ready to sign, but she is a 1290 on the SAT and a 3.8 GPA. So I'm waiting to see what else we have here to offer, because some of mine really like the academic scholarships as well as the athletic scholarship, the way that I'm able to package them. And I like young women that take a strong value in their education coming here. So that's another one that's been admitted to the university. I won't say her name yet. I'm just waiting patiently to sign her, and she is as well. But she's a 55 quarter miler coming in a 2:16 800 meter runner. And I'm looking at a couple of jumpers and a couple of sprinters that can finish off my next season's package.
You just recently had a track meet Friday against Texas Southern. How did that come out for you?
The track meets, actually, God has blessed us with some wonderful weather. I was able to get to use the outdoor facility to cover for indoor. So we are preparing for our indoor conference, which will take place on the 18th and 19th of February in Birmingham, Alabama. There are several schools that are doing that because the indoor facilities that are available, because those schools have had to cut down on the number of teams that can participate in an indoor meet, it just knocked us out. We were able to go to another school, but the entry fee was just too exorbitant. So it worked out a lot better for us to have the meet here. TSU competes every week, and some post-collegiate athletes are able to compete as well. And between last week and this week, you saw a tremendous difference in the performances of our athletes. I think last week they were nervous. It was their first time since March. Hadn't competed, didn't know what was going to happen. And then this week you saw it was like night and day. So this Saturday on the 6th, we're having our third meet, and I'm looking forward to see them perform even better as we get ready. And my New York is just out.
I'm going to tease you later. So
I know you're going to tease me for my.
Incidentally, you mentioned Mark Jackson. His sister, Nikki Jackson, is a Prairie View University Panther. She's my classmate. She came in between 84 and 89. Just kind of throw that in there. You didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, but no, I'm really having this facility and being able to host those meets. It's been incredible for our season, and I'm really happy. We've kept it small. I didn't advertise it too much because I didn't want to be overloaded with a lot of teams. And Fred Newhouse, one of the very strong supporters here at Prairie View. He is my official. It's official. He is at every meet. His wife graciously allows him to come out during this pandemic and help me. And so we are able to get officials that come out and help and support. And it's really been going well.
You've had an opportunity to host some world-class athletes here at Prairie View A&M. That has been huge for us in our marketing and our exposure. And I just want to say great job. What's coming up in the future to get more of these meets with these world-class athletes coming, first of all? And second of all, tell us about the Prairie View A&M University Relays.
Okay, so I'm glad that you asked. So this pandemic has really hurt professional athletes. You do have meets that are taking place over in Europe, but with the travel restraints and everything else, it is difficult. This year, and the first meet on the pro circuit, USATF circuit, is the Prairie View Relays, which is March 26th and 27th. You are going to see, and I won't say the names yet, but because I can't, but you will see, and I gotta fix my shirt. Oh Lord, you will see several Olympians, gold medalists, bronze medalists, silver medalists competing. I see something that went up 16th and 17th. Prairie View Relays is the 26th and 27th of March this year. So you will see anyone that is a pro athlete, that's been a pro athlete, that has competed in the Olympics, they will be here competing at the Prairie View Relays this March. There will also be an additional 5 meets on the calendar. They will take place in April all the way to June to get these athletes prepared for the Olympic trials. I'm excited about those meets because they're going to be on this campus competing at the highest level. And I think it's great to have that type of atmosphere back here at Prairie View. I'm happy that we have a certified IAAF. Well, it's now World Athletics track. That is the highest level of certification that you can have for a track. And it is an awesome facility. And I'm looking forward to it expanding and hopefully hosting Olympic trials, state championships, regionals, all that good stuff. I'm really looking forward to that. And to have my athletes see, this is where you can be. Not all athletes start off great. You know, they start off running kind of mediocre. And if they get the best coaching that they could possibly get, and they have the mindset and the heart, the sky's the limit. And it doesn't matter where you land. As long as you have people in your corner and you have people that are able to coach you and support you in the way that you need to be supportive, the sky's the limit. And that's why I love being here at Prairie View.
All right, Coach. Well, listen, thanks a lot for stopping by. Not many questions, just a lot of comments on winner and your New York accent. We love it. We love it. Not a lot of questions. We're just hoping for the best for you. We're excited about it. I think you bring a lot to the table for us. You've been a great coach, great mentor, and just a great teacher. So we're really excited and very, very fortunate to have you. I'm getting a lot of comments. Way to go, Coach. Coach thinking outside the box. And to that New York accent. Anna Levy is commenting. A lot of people are watching. And, man, we're just so fortunate and so blessed for so many of our Panther fans to join in. And we want to thank you a lot for stopping by and taking time out your busy schedule. Go Panthers.
It is a pleasure. And I'm looking forward to Jordan being here. She's going to make some noise for the next 4 years, as well as the other ones that are coming.
That Deonica Booker kind of noise, huh?
Bianca,
her name. Yeah, I just butchered the name just a minute ago.
And this is actually number 14. Yeah. I just started my 14th year, and I've taken second place so many times here, indoor and outdoor. But there are just some small pieces that need to be adjusted when it comes to being able to recruit differently and funding. But once those things happen, it won't be a dual meet anymore. And that's what I'm looking for and looking forward to. But the athletes that I do have, they compete hard and they run better than they ever thought they could possibly run. And their goal is not just SWAC, it's NCAA championships, it's NCAA becoming All-Americans, USA Juniors, USA Outdoor. I'm hoping to have someone at the Olympic trials this year.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot for stopping by. It's 14 years. He's been here since Gilligan Island stopped running on television. Stick around, folks. We're going to take a quick break, and then come back with the assistant men's baseball coach, Coach Brian White. This is National Signing Day on PVAMU-TV.
After graduation, Edwards headed to the Midwest to continue his education at Michigan State University, where the Spartans marching band performed and recorded many of his arrangements. George led a fulfilling life of teaching in Lansing, Michigan, and traveling for music performances until he received a call from a friend and former college bandmate, William McQueen. McQueen asked George to leave Michigan and to join him on the Prairie View A&M University band staff as the head arranger and to help rebuild an anemic program.
Mr. Edwards came to Prairie View in 1978, and he was brought in as an assistant director under Mr. Bill McQueen. And he was in charge of arranging the music, which meant that he and I had to collaborate a lot because the Foxes danced for, at that time, just a minute and a half at the most. So we had to squeeze a lot of music into a minute and a half. So everything had to be really up-tempo, but it couldn't be so up-tempo that the girls couldn't get their extensions in for the high kicks that were part of our tradition.
He was trying to work with the other staff, to make it bigger, And I guess he must have succeeded because he became the director of it.
I decided to go to law school. And that decision to go to law school was made around the final decision to go to law school was made around July, August. And so I finally let the department head know that I was leaving. And of course, George was in a position then to ask for scholarships and so forth, which he ultimately got.
With a solid scholarship program in hand and rewards materializing from personal and financial sacrifices made, both men could see the music tide turning in favor of Prairie View's bands, performances, and sound.
Everybody was impressed with the band. So when Beyonce was going to do the halftime for that Thanksgiving, I guess it was just a given for them that they would call Prairie View back, and we were really thrilled to get that call.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kelly, Michelle, and Beyonce, Destiny's Child.
None of the other SWAC bands were doing drumline features, and it was new, it was refreshing, and this was years before the movie Drumline was even made.
One of the coldest in the SWAC. I mean, almost like the best kept secret in Texas.
So George W. Bush was our commencement speaker at graduation, and he said, "I love your band so much that if I make it into the presidency, I want you guys to come and play in the parade and be my honor band." The honor band is the last band in the parade. And so as soon as he got elected, we got notice that they wanted us to come to the inauguration parade. That's how that started.
And listening to the best band in the land. I can assure some of the nervous folks may be nervous about what this speech is about, that I stand before you as your governor. However, if all goes well this November, I look forward to seeing the marching storm at my inaugural parade.
Welcome back to National Signing Day on the campus of Prairie View A&M University. Man, that documentary on the Marching Storm and George Edwards, man, really hits home. He was a very dear friend, and man, we miss him a lot. Well, folks, it's time for the Diamond. We're going to jump on the baseball field here quickly as Coach Brian White will sit in for Coach Antoine Riggins. But just a little bit about Coach Riggins. He's entering his 6th season as a coach at Prairie View University, following a successful career as an instructor, trainer, and coach of some of the top NCAA Division I prospects. Riggins was named the 7th head coach in Prairie View history in August of 28th, 2015. August 28th, 2015. In 2019, Riggins led the Panthers to 18 wins, including 9 in league play. Along the way, he coached the league's leading hitter in Daniel Lingawa, the lone 40% or better hitter in the conference, and the Panthers eliminated Alcorn State from the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Riggins returned to the Panthers in postseason in 2018, during which Prairie View A&M ousted Mississippi Valley State. Coach Riggins is flanked by Coach Brian White, his longtime assistant. The Panthers coach have been right there for the past few seasons. I mean, we get off to this slow start, and then we start picking up some momentum, and then we kind of take a lull. But then once we get to the tournament, it's no holds bars. The Panthers are a fierce competitor in the tournament.
Yes, sir. I mean, we get in it and try to do the very best to be successful and bring home a championship, because we know that this program has had many championships in the past over the last 20 years, and we want to continue that with the baseball program here at Prairie View.
You guys had a lot of seniors last year and the year before. You've been depleted. You've been reloading and restocking. What is the recruitment horizon looking like for us in the 21 season?
It looks really, really good. We were fortunate enough. Sorry about that. We were fortunate enough to have some young men commit to us early in the year, and we're still doing recruiting as we speak. The pandemic has kind of slowed a lot of things because we can't really get out like we want to throughout the course of this whole academic year, but it's looking really good. I mean, we're recruiting some of the best players in the country, not only in our state, but all over. And we try to use our contacts and talk to different various scouts and other coaches out there to get informed about the players that are around this area in the country. So we feel really good about it.
You know, it has been difficult in this pandemic. We've asked all the coaches. I know people are tired of hearing it, but it's been really difficult in this atmosphere to go out and properly recruit, to get athletes to come in and even look at our facilities. Because we always say, once you come to the campus and see our facilities, we got you. And, you know, it's been difficult because we have not been able to bring athletes on the campus for recruiting trips. And, man, that really puts a nail in the coffin of our recruiting. So, Coach, how many guys have already talked to that have committed to this great institution?
Well, right now we signed 2 young men in the fall, Alex Diaz, as well as Cannon Berry. Both of them are tremendous. First of all, they're tremendous students. Alex Diaz, a catcher. He's now at Second Baptist. He's rated one of the top catchers in the state. Had a lot of offers from a lot of different schools, but he was fortunate enough to come here to a camp that we did last year before everything shut down. And I would say during the pandemic, right around that time, going into his senior year, he committed. He was first young man to commit, and just outstanding. You know, I think one thing I can really say is that over the last 20 years, we've had outstanding catchers here at Prairie View, even, you know, before I got here and while I've been here. So he's just going to continue that tradition of having outstanding catchers. Has a chance to get drafted as well. So, you know, really excited about him. Now, Cannon Berry, unique athlete. He can play middle infield, third base, as well as any outfield position. But the one unique thing about Cannon is that he is a tremendous pitcher on the mound. Mid-upper 80 guy. But for his hitting wise, he's a left-handed hitter with a lot of pop. He'll definitely have an opportunity to come in and make a real impact, as well as Alex. You know, both of those guys are guys that we need in the program to continue this going so we can bring some championships back to the Hill.
Well, Coach, I know it's been very difficult for you guys. We've only got 2 guys inked in. Baseball season just getting underway, really, on the high school level. So we'll get some late signees. And I know you guys got a lot of players on your radar.
Yes, we do.
So I want to say congratulations on your academic prowess, 3.0 across the board for your athletes, man. That's just fantastic. And we're real proud of that. We're looking forward to big things. The stadium looks great. One thing I do notice is you guys really take great care of your field. I see you guys working in a tireless effort out there, just making sure everything. I mean, folks, if you go out there and you see it, you'll be like, wow, is this a professional baseball field? Everything is so neat and so tidy. Everything is in its place. Watching these guys practice, there's a routine, there's a formula to this thing, and it's just a matter of time before you guys get in the driver's seat and bring us back home a championship to Prairie View and there.
Yes, sir. That's the goal. And we want to not only win championships, SWAC championships, but we want to compete on the national level because we have the players and and the resources that are there for us to be able to do that. And we want to continue to work hard and make everybody here at Prairie View A&M very proud of us and happy with where the direction of the baseball program is going.
We're going to open it up for questions here. Could you go over your pitching rotation for 21? One of the Open Mic Broadcast Network, my classmate Mike wants to know if about your pitching rotation.
Right now, we're still in the process of still evaluating guys, but we're very fortunate to have Kyle Smith, who is a fifth-year senior. He's in grad school. He'll probably be anchoring the pitching rotation, as well as Tyler Lux. He'll be another fifth-year senior. And we have a host of other guys. I don't want to give too much because it helps,
you're doing a Coach Dooley.
Our opponents kind of prepare. But we have, I'm going to just say this, we have a lot of these fifth-year guys that got that extra year that were a part of our first recruiting class back in 2015, 2016. And they're really showing a lot of leadership. And on the pitching side, those guys have been just tremendous guys that we've had, that we work with. They love Prairie View, like all the guys doing our program. But it means something really special to them because they, as freshmen, they saw how we got eliminated out of the tournament, how those seniors felt, and they don't want to feel that way. They're very determined. But those are the two main guys, two top guys. I mean, we have some other guys, but I don't want to give too much. I think I might get in trouble for giving too much information in reference to that. But I think for overall, we're going to have a solid starting rotation. We got some guys that came in this year that's gonna be really, really good. And I kind of don't want to give them much away because I know there may be other coaches in our conference or people that we will play that kind of feed into this, well, they got this guy, they got that guy. We got to prepare for this. Go find some video. Because, it's all analytical now. People can find video anywhere on players.
Well, Coach, we don't want you to get in no trouble, so we're going to let you off the hook. No more questions. The only comment we've got is G. Boom Holly, who is actually Raymond Holly. And you know Raymond Holly. He's been filling in for me doing the PA, and I want to thank him so much while I quarantine here. Everything is good, folks. Don't get no questions. But while I'm quarantined, I want to thank G. Boom Holly. His only comment is, how can he get one of those hats? He needs one when he comes and takes all of those pictures at your game. So we'll let you know, Holly, how you can get one of those hats. Raymond Holly, my classmate, does a great job for Prairie View A&M University. He dedicates a lot of his time and talent. He loves baseball, so he's going to be out there shooting you guys this spring. Coach, thanks a lot for
we'll take care.
All right, don't say that too loud. The boss might be listening. Coach, we want to thank you. See, you gonna get in trouble, I'm gonna get in trouble. Okay, we'll get in trouble together. I'll hang in there with you. Coach, thanks a lot for stopping by. Give kudos and our love and everything to Coach Antoine Riggins, who couldn't make it today and had a very, very, very comparable gentleman to stand in for the Prairie View University men's baseball team. Thanks a lot, Coach, and you have a great afternoon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now as we continue to talk about champions, the reigning Southwestern Athletic Conference champion in men's basketball is up next. Stick around. We'll talk with Byron Smith after these important messages.
At Prairie View A&M University, we've been igniting passion in students for more than 140 years. It's about inspiration. It's about global influence. It's about self-expression and individuality. It's about trailblazing a path of excellence. It's about engaging in the greater community. Above all, it's about helping you realize your dreams. Ignite your passion. Experience Prairie View A&M University.
I arrived in Prairie View in 1965 from Hempstead, Texas. And just an old country boy there, and something I always contribute to going to, well, I always, all the way back, I can trace all the way back to my great-grandfather, that's called the Watermelon King. And he might have been one of the first of the 8 that enrolled at Prairie View back in the 76 when Prairie View was established there, because he was born in 1859. So I had a traditional thing for family of going to Prairie View. My oldest brother, both brothers, sister, attended Prairie View. Oldest brother played football here in the 50s.
I arrived at Prairie View at the time it was Prairie View College in 1966. Majoring in business education. I'm the first in my family to come to Prairie View. I was told by a counselor this was the place to come. I'm from Lufkin, Texas. My parents owned a grocery store in Lufkin, Texas, the Hackney grocery store, which funded me to come to Prairie View. A girlfriend of mine took me to the party with them, and that's where I met John Fuller. The next day, going to the old dining hall, which no longer stands, I stopped and spoke to him, and of course he didn't know who I was. I guess he didn't pay attention to me that night. And we spoke, communicated. Then he said, let's walk, and I turned around. And from then on, we had a relationship. About a year later, I think he graduated. And we kept communicating with that back and forth. And one day, going home the last year, going home for Christmas, there was a package in the mail that had come from Kansas City, and it was the ring.
What happened is that I was in Kansas City, and then I said, well, you're going to go back and finish your degree. But she had still, another year, two. I think I finished in, December of 68, class of 1969, but I think you finished,
72.
72. Yeah. So she went back, and what happened, I think I had a 442 Oldsmobile.
Hello.
That's what Prairie View, all the graduates from Prairie View at that time,
especially the
engineers, get a 442 Oldsmobile.
When I came back with the 442.
And then, I don't know what was wrong with my mind at the time, but I let her come back with the 442 Oldsmobile, and I had a Volkswagen. Does that sound strange? What's wrong with a person's mind to give her the 442 and I'll scoot around in my Volkswagen?
Because he was teaching. I'm going to tell you right now.
You're right, I bought it because there's no easy answer for it.
He was teaching. I took care of the children. He taught. You talk about dedicated to teaching at Prairie View. He taught.
I guess it's human nature to say, you always look. I guess the grass is always greener somewhere else. But then if you look at, family, great children and grandchildren, and then, where you are, how are you doing well? Are you healthy? And I guess if you look at the whole thing, then like I say, if the grass always green, you always say it could be better, you could do this, but no, we're pretty well satisfied with where I am right now.
They love him. I really love me some John Ford, Dr. John Ford.
Thank you. Thank you. I love to teach.
See, I use Dr. John and Cheryl Fuller, man, what a wonderful, wonderful story of Prairie View Indian. Yeah. All right. If you didn't hear me, what a beautiful story of Dr. John and Cheryl Fuller, some very, very dear friends of mine, the epitome of Prairie View A&M University. Their daughter's one of my best friends, Trill. Hallelujah. Well, speaking of champions, ladies and gentlemen, in his 8th year with the Prairie View University men's basketball team and his 5th full season as head coach of the Prairie View A&M University men's team, Coach Byron Smith has amassed the reins of a program. Smith has molded the Panthers, hoops into a perennial power within Southwestern Athletic Conference, Smith has guided Prairie View A&M to a pair of SWAC regular season championships and a SWAC tournament berth in 2019. The Panthers successfully defended their regular season crown during the 2019-2020, I like to call it the pandemic season, with a 19-13 record. Smith led Prairie View A&M University to an out-of-conference win over Central Arkansas, Texas A&M San Antonio, or University of Texas San Antonio. With his guidance, Devontae Patterson, Gerald Andrus, Dennis Jones were first-team All-Southwestern Athletic Conference athletes and box throw All-American selections. Patterson also earned SWAC Player of the Year, and Smith was named SWAC Coach of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, we're waiting on him to pop up, but there he is, my main man, head basketball coach Byron Smith. Coach, how you doing today? I see you already in your workout gear, getting ready to go get it on.
Absolutely. Doing well, Charles. And yourself?
I'm fantastic, man. I tell you, folks, you know, I've been a part of this program for a long time. And I tell you, this is one of the best coaches. And I'm not riding your horse, Coach. I'm just saying, I've been around you. You know, this is one of the best coaches, the best human beings I've ever met in my life. I mean, I've never, well, I have. But let's just say it this way. He is so passionate about these guys on and off the court. And he recruits good guys. He recruits top-notch students and top-notch human beings. And I've been privileged to be around this program, and it is just something to see. Sometimes I just sit back, Coach, and watch, because I love when you get to be Coach Smith. See, there's two sides of Coach Smith. There's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I like the Dr. Jekyll because it's funny. But Coach, man, you're doing such a fantastic job. 6-0 in the conference right now. You know, people didn't want to pick us to be number one again. You know, they're always trying to keep us down. You can't keep a good man down. But you're showing them. You're showing them by walking slow, talking low, so nobody will notice you.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said, Charles. No, you're right. You know, we weren't really, you know, picked, I think, third maybe and fourth in some people's opinion, which is fine. You know, it's not really how you start, you know, where you predicted to start. It's where you finish. And, you know, that's kind of where we are right now in the mindset. We've obviously gotten off to a good start in the conference at 6-0. A lot of work to be done. And, you know, obviously we're focused on, you know, getting to the finish line and, you know, finishing the way that we've started.
You know, we talked the other day, Coach, after the game. Unfortunately, I've missed the last couple of games. I hope to be back in the saddle next week. But you know, this team, you told me at the beginning of the season, you said, you know, you think last year's team was good, he calls him my guy, Devontae Patterson and Dennis Jones, those and Gerald Andrus, those were my guys. And he says, but you think we had a good team last year? Where do you see this? And man, Coach, you did not disappoint. You went out and got Cam Mack, and Cam Mack has got to be one of the quickest point guards ever to come through Prairie View A&M University since Greg Burks.
Yeah, he is, and you know, fortunately, you know, for us, he is a part of our program. You know, he's obviously probably one of the, you know, elite point guards probably in the country, not just the conference, you know, based off of his, you know, leading the nation in assists right now. So he's very quick, like you said, very shifty, very crafty, very experienced point guard, knows how to play, makes the game easy for everyone else, excellent distributor, underrated defender. I mean, he really defends the basketball a lot better than what people give him credit for. He's got quick hands. He gets a lot of deflections, gets steals. So he's definitely someone we're excited about having in our program and just seeing just how far, you know, he can kind of carry us or help carry us. You know, we've got a team, a lot of depth. We've got a lot of talented players. He's not the only one, but obviously he gets a lot of the attention, you know, because of his, you know, previous place that he played at the University of Nebraska and being one of the better point guards in the Big Ten last year. So, but yeah, we're definitely happy to have him, Charles, and we just hope that his stellar play will continue.
Jeremiah Gambrell is just lighting it up from all over the court. I mean, he's a box throw player of the week last week. Cam Mack got impact player of the week. Really? I'm going to leave it alone because, you know, I'm passionate about it. I'm kind of like you when you used to have your suits on and take your jacket off. We used to make a bet, folks, to see how long coach is going to keep his jacket on. But you know, with Jeremiah Gambrell and you've got to have the best defender. The best defender in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. If he doesn't get Defensive Player of the Year, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you obviously speak. First of all, Jeremiah Gambrell, as you spoke about, he's definitely a talented young man. He's a Houston kid, which we were happy to bring him back home. I've been affiliated with Jeremiah and his family for many years since he was in middle school, so I've known of him and known the family. They're quality people. He's a quality young man, can really shoot the basketball, really becoming a really good facilitator. An underrated defender as well. I mean, he's becoming an all-around solid basketball player. Well, once upon a time, he was just known as a shooter from long range. But he's definitely someone that stretches the defense, gives us an opportunity to be a team that's multidimensional, the way you have to guard us on the perimeter, and he allows other guys to get opportunities to get open shots because, his man is defending him. But you sometimes have to send a double team at Jeremiah. He's so quick, and he's got such a quick release. So he's definitely someone we're excited about having in the program and hope that his stellar play will continue. And obviously you speak about the silent assassin, I call him Dwayne Cox. He is just a joy to be around. He is a quiet, super duper humble young man who does everything you ask him to do. He comes early, he stays late. He attacks the classroom. He's a silent, quiet leader. Like I say, he's a man of few words. And his attitude is great. If he's playing 30 minutes or if he's playing 3 minutes, he's going to give you the same effort. He's going to give you the same reaction. You take him in, put him in the game or take him out of the game. It's never dropping his head or, giving you that look like a lot of our players do in today's game. Coach, why are you taking me out? I'm feeling it. I need to get my rhythm. He's just a total team guy and, very excited. He's the young man that, if you got a pretty daughter and you're worried about how she's going to be out in the world, he's a young man that you don't mind your daughter walking through the door with in terms of, mama, dad, this is who I'm going to the prom with, or this is who I'm going to date. But just a quality young man, Charles, and we were excited to have him in our program.
You talk about Cox. I've got to go back and get one of our roots analogies. I'm gonna say some Louisiana stuff, for lack of a better word. But when you watch him playing on the court, he's like flies on syrup in the summer. He is just all over the place. And and I see him, I watch him, Coach Skin out, every time he does something incredible, we just sit there and look at each other like, wow, this kid is great. Darrell Roberts has been coming on. He's had a couple of low scoring games, but Darrell Roberts, man, gets in there and really gets after it. And, I'm really proud of Linnell Henry. He's had some bumps. Linnell's a passionate guy, from Chicago, Illinois, and it's tough coming from Chicago. But this kid is really lighting it up, and you're on him like flies on syrup in the summer when he gets to messing up because he has so many dimensions of his game. He can step out and shoot the 3-pointer. He's a great rebounder, and he's a good defender when he's thinking. So you've got a great team that you've amassed together, and I know it's been difficult to recruit. We've talked to all coaches about recruiting in this climate, but you seem to go out and find them, Coach. How's your recruiting going this year? You haven't really inked in anyone yet.
Well, we signed one high school kid early, local kid that played at Madison High School last year. He's a legacy prep right now out in spring. But just with the restrictions of COVID, not being able to get out and recruit, this past spring, we were fortunate that we saw a lot of the kids that we ended up signing before we got shut down in terms of the recruiting. And we just really relied on a lot of our trusted relationships of coaches around the country who had seen these kids play, and we went off some strong recommendations about the kids that we brought in. Right now, recruiting it never stops; it's ongoing. We're on the phone with kids. We're talking to various coaches. We're looking at a lot of film. But Charles, as well as I do, it's very difficult and it's not very smart to buy a new car online. You want to get out there to the lot and talk to the dealers and have a look at it and test drive it. So, recruiting right now is a little bit like that. We're not able to get out and have in-person communication with these kids and watch them and evaluate them in the gym in a normal recruiting setting. So we've kind of slowed it down a little bit. We're hopeful that April is the date that the NCAA said they're going to lift the recruiting ban, and we can kind of get back out maybe in May or June to be able to. And so we're probably going to try to bring back a lot of the kids that we have on the current roster, because obviously this is kind of a free year, if you will. They get this year back. So a lot of the kids that you see right now for 2020-21, you'll see in 21-22. But we got to add a few. Pieces. A couple shooters and maybe another inside guy. So, but I think you'll probably see us signing guys probably more in the summer than you will this upcoming spring.
Well, Coach, this week you get off to take on our arch rival, Texas Southern, down in the H&PE Arena this weekend. And I'm finna be a little messy, Coach. Last time we went to Texas Southern and we were winning like this, look at you. We lost to Texas Southern and the Panther fans went crazy. And I almost lost my job because I went to defending you. And
Thank you.
I was like, man, what are y'all talking about?
I
y'all don't, do you really know this game? And I when you work with someone every day, when you're there, when you're so blessed and fortunate to be the voice of a people,
Mhm.
Your passion just don't stop after the game is over.
Mhm.
I got into it with a couple of my fraternity brothers because they don't know what they're talking about because I know the game. And then you went on and you didn't look back after that when we won the conference. And then everybody wants to hop on the bandwagon. So with that being said, and it's fine, it's fine.
It is.
With that being said, as we get ready to go down to Texas Southern, that's our arch rival. It's any given Sunday when we play Texas Southern. We got.
Absolutely.
They're going to be hungry. They're going to be angry with us. How have you prepared your guys? I don't even want to be in the gym with you this week because I know what's going on this week. I'm glad I'm kind of off this week because I know it's tough in the gym. How are you preparing for this week?
Charles, I know it's cliche. It's the most important game of the season because it's the next one, and we're preparing as if we're preparing like we're playing anybody, and like we always do. We're gonna do our reps and get our shots up and work on our defensive stuff, and we're gonna go over some of the stuff that they do well. And obviously, they're a different team now than they were when they came in on January the 4th or 6th or 2nd. I can't remember what the actual date. But I know that they're going to be up to the challenge. But we will be up to the challenge as well. Probably more so than maybe any time since I've been at Prairie View. I always like those friendly reminders of that night that we did drop that game, and I felt like we needed to do something special to get our loyal fans off my back. So we ended up, not losing any more games that season and winning the conference championship and going on to the return. Was a great year with a great group of guys. But Charles, it's strategy. Every coach feels that he may need to do something or she needs to do something a certain way. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The only thing that's guaranteed in this life is death and taxes. But everything else, you have a strategy, but you go off your gut. And that particular night, I do remember it well, of some things that we worked on, we tried, maybe we should not have. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning as a coach. And I was learning that night. And even though we were having a lot of success, I'm still growing even to this day. This is my 8th year here at Prairie View, 5th as a head coach. I still got a lot to learn. But I do feel that some things we probably should have not done or done on that particular night. But I can assure you, moving forward, the full gamut of what we're doing right now, we've got a game plan in place. We feel really good about our team right now. We got a lot of depth. I feel that our team right now is a little bit stronger just in terms of numbers than any of the teams that I've had in the past. So we can throw different looks at Texas Southern. We can throw different lineups, and we're still adding more pieces. Fate Williams should be back for this upcoming game. So we're adding more pieces to this puzzle. But we're going to go in and we're going to get after them. We're going to play a lot of the way that we've been playing these other games. And we feel like our strategy and our style of play will put us in a position to where we can be successful. And that's what we're going into the HPE building on Saturday night to do, is to be successful and to continue our conference winning streak.
Exciting Prairie View University basketball coming your way this Saturday night, 7 o'clock, nationally televised game on ESPNU. We're excited about it. The women will play at 4:30. They're going to move that game up so they can get prepared for the 7 o'clock game. We're going to be in the national spotlight, and I'm sure that the Panthers will be prepared. Coach, I know you got to get to practice here, but a couple of quick questions, a couple of quick comments. What are you looking for in recruiting? I know what you're looking for. It's got to fit your program, your scheme of things. You got to get a person in at the right time. You've got to get them in so that they'll have enough longevity to help your program grow. I know those things. Mm-hmm. I just answered the question. But the question is, what are you looking for when you recruit?
You're looking for, quality young men that have good character, that care about getting an education. That's really important. I think that sometimes gets lost in the sauce, that we are here to give these young men the tools to be able to, get a degree that's going to be able to impact the next 20, 30, 40 years of their life. That's first and foremost. But we want young men that want to, play beyond college, to be honest with you. I like to recruit those young men that want to make a career out of it, at least 5, 6, 7, 8 years. You know, just in terms of that, that's important to me because I know that, you know, they kind of match, you know, my principles and what I'm looking for. And I feel that that's what you want to do. You're going to put forth the effort. You're going to work each and every day to be able to achieve that goal. So that makes our job as coaches much easier. But just in terms of skill, you know, you got to be a good practice guy, Port. I think you've been to some of my practices. It can be pretty grueling. They're pretty tough. And one of the things that a lot of kids struggle with when they come into our program is that, you know, just the length of the practices and the intensity of the practices, because a lot of kids that come in, you know, from the high school ranks or either the junior college ranks, you know, they don't really get an opportunity to practice really because of the time. And obviously with AAU, you don't really practice at all. So that's one of the hard parts of kids coming to Division I basketball is getting adapted to the practices. But if you got a strong work ethic and you can shoot, dribble, and pass, and you have a desire to be successful and you have a desire to be coached, because Porter, there's a difference between being respectable and to be coachable. You can be respectable and you can be respectful, but not be coachable. You can be a yes or no sir guy, but when it comes to the coaching, you know what, you may not be willing to want to listen and to be able to do the things that the coach feels that you need to do to improve. So a willing student, someone that's got a strong desire. We need ball handlers, we need shooters, we need rebounders, but we got to have effort people that just give great effort each and every day. So that's what we look for when we bring in the next batch of guys to the Panther program.
Well, Coach, I might be late, but I think your defense has a new name for your defense, and Mike Dog 7. I mean, I love it. Your defense is Purple Chaos. I like that, and I'm going to use it. Purple Chaos, man, that's a good one, man. I tell you, the Panther fans are lining up, man. Purple Chaos, I love it. I love it. That's a real good one, and it is because that's exactly what it is. If you've watched this team this year, you've just seen just a relentless defense going after the ball. There's nobody standing around. If you're standing around, you're going to come and sit down.
Absolutely.
And it's just been, man, a pleasure to watch, Coach. And we're going to stay behind you 1,000%. I've even got a comment that says, can we sign Coach Byron Smith to a lifetime contract? I don't know if we got that kind of money.
Sounds good to me.
That sounds fantastic to me. Very proud. Richard Atiba says, very proud of the work that you've done, Coach. You're a phenomenal coach. You're a phenomenal human being. And I know personally because we've become very good friends over these few years, spiritually and just as men trying to help usher men into the next level of their life. And it's a pleasure working alongside you, Coach. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Likewise.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our head coach, Coach Byron Smith of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Don't forget exciting Panther basketball coming your way this Saturday in the H&PE Arena down on the campus of Texas Southern University as the Panthers take on their arch rivals, Texas Southern. 7 o'clock tip-off on ESPNU Live. The women will play at 4:30 p.m. They're in the midst of finding themselves. And I want to say good afternoon to Sandy Pugh and Coach Pruitt, Courtney Pruitt, and Dave Frank, and the coaching staff there. They're doing a good job. They're putting together our winner, and be patient with them. It's going to be good. There's a lot of good stuff going on out there. Their record is not indicative of the way that they are playing. While I got you, I want to remind you, tickets for the State Fair Classic are on sale right now. You can purchase them online. Okay, or you can go. Let me get the email back up. I got some new information because I want to do it right. I don't want to get in trouble because y'all can be brutal, Panther fans. State Fair Classic tickets are on sale online today. Fans can start purchasing them starting Thursday from 5 to 7. This Thursday, tomorrow, from 5 to 7 on the campus. Okay, and then from 1 to 5 on the campus of Prairie View A&M University. We'd like to take this time to thank our sponsors for Prairie View A&M Athletics: Adidas, Sodexo, Houston Methodist Hospital at Willowbrook, Pepsi, and Mustang Cat Sand Hill Golf Course. I want to thank those sponsors for assisting with Prairie View A&M University, and I hope I'm not going to get in trouble because I know the big boss has something that he's about to get ready to roll out, and we're excited about it. Let me mention this also, that you still have time to make your presence known on the Hill, as our teams have begun the 2021 season of competitions. Fans can purchase cutouts to be displayed in both Panther Stadium and the Baby Dome for the duration of the season for just $100. Though in-person attendance is limited, in the best interest of our student athletes and athletic staff, your unwavering school spirit can shine through, whether it's for yourself in honor of a loved one or a special furry friend. Our gift of appreciation, or a gift, pardon me, of appreciation. There isn't a better way to show your allegiance to Panther athletics these most unique times. You can purchase your cutout and extend your support to Prairie View A&M Athletics and our student athletes. Now, be sure to go online and view the helpful tips when you purchase those to get your picture on there so that we can get it on right. All right, folks, we're going to take a break. Coming up, we're going to wrap up with the athletics director, the vice president of athletics, Dr. Donald Reed, right here on Panther Vision.
Edwards navigated the band to a crescendo of success. But just like any good musical composition, the beat of success George Edwards and his beloved marching storm had been marching to would soon face a cadence of challenges.
Prairie View had just been voted the best band in SWAC. And that title had previously belonged to Southern University. And I've always grown up in a great fan of Southern's band, you know, their brass section, their precision. I mean, great band. But Prairie View is a great band too.
Southern's band had just performed halftime show, and it was Prairie View's time to come on the field. So we're lined up on the sidelines like we normally do. And Southern normally gets off the field and they make a right flank and they go. Well, their dancers were already in the stands, and they came and broke through our ranks, which is disrespectful in the band world. You don't break anyone's ranks. So they broke straight through our ranks, and their drum major at the time, he grabbed his mace and he swung at one of our flute players. And then there was the side of the band with majority of men. So our tuba players took up for our flute players at the time, and you just saw a horn fly, and you saw another horn fly, and you saw people started flying, and then there was just a swarm of people coming across the field. You know, we're on half the band is on one side, half the band's on the other side. The other side made it to the other side quick. You saw one drum major come out, and he was like, "Are we doing halftime?" You know, you're in it, so you don't know what's going on. Then the drum major comes out, and then he runs back into the crowd, and it was just a mess. You saw instruments and uniform pieces flying, and then Prof. Elvis came down, and then you saw him clotheslining people because he's trying to get his people off the field and trying to get his instruments, because we don't have that kind of money. We can't replace these instruments. You see people swinging saxophones like bats. All kinds of things. And it finally calmed down, and we all get back in the stands. We're trying to do a body count, an instrument count, see who need to go to the emergency room. It was a mess.
One of our band girls was hit in the mouth, you know, with a trumpet, busted her face all open or whatever. We had a lot of bad injuries, you know, from that fight. And I remember just getting my girls and hurrying them out.
Professor
At Prairie View A&M University, we've been igniting passion in students for more than 140 years. It's about inspiration. It's about global influence. It's about self-expression and individuality. It's about trailblazing a path of excellence. It's about engaging in the greater community. Above all, it's about helping you realize your dreams. Ignite your passion. Experience Prairie View A&M University. At Prairie View A&M University, we've been igniting passion in students for more than 140 years. It's about inspiration. It's about global influence. It's about self-expression and individuality. It's about trailblazing a path of excellence. It's about engaging in the greater community. Above all, it's about helping you realize your dreams. Ignite your passion. Experience Prairie View A&M University.
Welcome back to National Signing Day on the campus of Prairie View A&M University. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Charles Porter, your host. The Prairie View A&M University Department of Athletics is on the rise, bringing more than 2 decades worth of experience in Division I athletic administration. Dr. Donald Reed was named the Director of Athletics by President Ruth Simmons on June 17, 2020. A reputable force in college athletics, Reed has a wide range of experience in strategic planning, budget management, policy making, and athletic leadership. In addition, he has an in-depth knowledge of NCAA academic progress rate, and we all know that's APR, and federal graduation guidelines and best practices. Reed is also actively involved in the NCAA legislative review process. He's no stranger to an HBCU life or Panther Nation, as the Port Arthur, Texas native is the son of an HBCU graduate and the grandson of a Prairie View A&M University graduate. Reed arrived to the Hill from the University of Buffalo, where he presided over 12 years of unprecedented academic success for Buffalo's student athletic population. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to bring on the Director of Athletics, the Vice President of Athletics, Dr. Donald Reed. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I am truly honored to host this National Signing Day, and I'd like to thank you and the athletic staff for allowing me to participate. It has been an honor, and in true fashion, we will wrap it up with words from the athletic director's desk.
Oh, well, great. I'm excited to talk with Panther Nation and talk with you, sir. I know you have some great questions. I want to thank you for your support of Prairie View A&M University, its athletics program, and being the voice of PVAMU athletics. So I sincerely appreciate your commitment and all the things that you do for us with regard to athletics.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Dr. Reed, there's a lot of things going on in college athletics right now. It's been really tough. We've asked all the coaches how difficult it's been just to simply operate with some sense of normalcy in this pandemic. If they're having a difficult time, it's got to be a tremendous challenge as an athletic director to try to oversee, to try to guide all of these coaches and student athletes through this storm. How are you handling that?
Well, you have to be very nimble because it's a fluid situation. It's never the same day twice, nor is it the same hour twice. So you have to be mindful, first and foremost, that you're here to serve the student athletes and the university. And we pull together to make certain that they have the best possible experience as students and as athletes. We huddle quite a bit during the day and during the week to talk about what's going on with regard to the health and safety of our student athletes. We get reports daily about their health. We test our student athletes up to 3 to 4 times a week for COVID, as well as our staff will do the same thing. We ask our staff, including coaches and myself, to test regularly, minimally weekly, to make sure that we maintain a safe environment for everyone involved. And again, you never know what's going to happen at any point in time. As you know, there have been quite a few competitions postponed or canceled due to the pandemic and the pause of activities due to COVID, and stopping our progress as far as playing ball games and also practicing. So you have to be very nimble and very mindful of what we need to do to provide a great environment for our student athletes.
It has been difficult, and I think the department and the university does a fantastic job with following the COVID protocols. I mean, as you know, I'm quarantined right now myself. With my wife and I are feeling fine, but we had a positive test last week, so we had to sit out 10 days. That's just the rules. no matter how good you're feeling. You got to make sure that you're following our protocols, because the health, safety, and welfare is paramount for our students and student athletes at Prairie View A&M, and you've done a great job at the helm of that, and making sure all of that is going on and going well and going according to plan. You got here in June, right on the heels of this pandemic, right as it really started to get bad. You really haven't had a chance to get out and really meet Panther Nation. You really haven't gotten out and had an opportunity to really get out and look people in the eyes and tell them your vision for the future. And I know it's bright, but what can people expect in the near future? What's on the horizon for our institution? We know we've got great facilities. We know we've got great athletes. We know we've got great coaches. We know that there is an open sea out there that we've got to sail into. What are we sailing into as we get prepared for the 21 season, your first real year? We're going to give this one a wash, because you just hadn't had time to put your plan in place, and that's understandable. But what can we expect as fans, as alums, and as supporters of Prairie View A&M athletics?
Say the first thing would be a program that operates with high integrity, and a program that provides great educational opportunities for its student athletes. And the foundation of the program is, of course, academic achievement. We want our student athletes to be students and to learn and grow and develop and earn a degree from Prairie View A&M University. We also want them to be excellent in competition. So we're talking from an athletic standpoint. We define the term competitive excellence is by winning championships. So myself and our coaches talk about that quite a bit, what the standard will be for excellence in athletics. So that would be SWAC championships and NCAA championship appearances, and winning ultimately NCAA championships. We also want to provide a development component to the student athlete experience, and we will do all of these things that I'm speaking of that will prepare them for transitioning from the Hill into their professional careers and their personal lives. So we'll provide professional and career development and personal development programs to our student athletes to get them that value add. Of course, you go to college to earn a degree. You also want to earn an education or get an education in order to apply that degree successfully once you transition into your professional life. So that is one of the foundational pieces of our program. And then also have our student athletes be prepared to enter a very dynamic and global society that's ever changing, and understanding their social responsibility for themselves, their families, their race, their country, all of that. So we want them to have exposure, participating in the community, giving back to the community, whether it's here on the Hill or in other areas or local community back in their hometowns. We want them to understand their civic and social responsibility as a citizen in this state, the country, and in the world. So all of those components are part of the vision and the mission of our athletics program. And we'll operationalize all of these things and evaluate them on a regular basis. How well are we doing with regard to what our goals and aspirations are? And we will quantify those things so they can be measured, and then hold ourselves accountable to those standards.
I've coached Dr. Reed, pardon me. I've been a Panther for almost 40 years of my life, and there is just a difference at Prairie View A&M University. To be a Panther, it's just a different feeling, a different commitment. You haven't had the opportunity to have a homecoming. to understand the love and the dedication that people have for Prairie View A&M University. It's been difficult for all administrators sitting in your position to get everybody engaged and to get them to support the question. And the question is, what can we do to make Prairie View A&M University the best program in the country? And I think we have a very, very dynamic set of principles that we're going to follow as we come under your administration. And I think that we've got to find a way to engage all of our alumni, our constituency, and the communities surrounding us. And as I get ready to answer that question, we're about to run out of time, so I'm going to open it up to some questions on the chat. But how are you planning to try to unite this Panther Nation?
Well, doing things such as this, having a Q&A with the AD, sit down as best I can virtually, and then hopefully things will open up and I can get out more to engage in conversation and, in essence, listen more than I speak to get a sense of what the expectations are of our program, our coaches, our student athletes, and us as administrators and myself, what we're expected to do with regard to representing yourself as an alum and all the other alums and friends of the program, as well as supporters, such that they feel compelled to continue to support us, whether it's financially or spreading the word of how we educate and develop our student athletes, the program and how it's operating. And we want to make sure that we include everyone. Everyone can contribute to the success of these young men and young women that, in essence, we're celebrating this afternoon, having chose Prairie View A&M University to earn an education, compete and win for championships, as well as develop as individuals. So we're very excited about that. Giving is very important. You know, whether you buy season tickets, you go and join the Purple and Gold Fund, or you participate in any activities around our sporting events, all of those things are important that help us deliver on the promise that we make to these young men and young women here at Prairie View A&M University. So I'm excited to get out and visit as many folks as I can, whether it's virtually or once things open up, we're able to have events. And of course, at any competitions, I circulate quite a bit. I don't sit a lot at ball games, so I'm always moving around. If you see me, please introduce yourself to me, and I'd love to engage you in conversation on how we can build and continue to build on the championships and the graduation rates that we have in order to provide a great environment for our young people that are on our campus.
And if I might jump in there with you, Coach, make sure that you're socially distant from our athletic director when you're engaged and where
absolutely. Absolutely. I can demonstrate. Here we go. We have these available. We have these available for you to wear. We want you to wear them proudly. Actually, I bought my son some of these to wear on his college campus. So we want to make sure that we're representing and let people know who we are and what we're about.
Now, Dr. Reed, how can you purchase those masks? By just simply going to our website?
Yes, they're available there. And if you don't see any now, there will be more coming.
Our website, folks, as you know, is www.pvpanthers.com. That's www.pvpanthers.com. A couple of questions quickly, Dr. Reed. Has there been any talks to reschedule the games that we missed in 2020 with schools like Louisiana Tech, Northwestern, and Northwestern State to fill more of our out-of-conference games in the future?
Yes, absolutely. We've already committed with Northwestern State. I had a great conversation with their director of athletics maybe 3 or 4 months ago, is in the fall, and we've decided to revisit the contract. And don't quote me on it, but it'll be in the next few years. Between now and 2025, we will do a home and home with Northwestern. I'm working with TCU as well as Louisiana Tech to get back on the schedule with them. Football is one of those things people schedule out 4, 5, 6 years in advance. Absolutely. Actually, I've gotten a request for 2027 already. So we're on top of it. And they want to play us. TCU really wants to play us. And so I'll definitely work with them. Fortunately for me, the 3 athletic directors I'm acquainted with, one of them is a good friend of mine. So I feel confident we're going to be able to get those games back relatively soon, as quickly as we can fit those in.
How do you intend to improve the marketing aspect of athletics to alumni in the Houston and Dallas area? Just asking the questions.
No, absolutely. I think it's critical to get in front of our alumni as best we can. One of the things that will be a point of emphasis is marketing and external relations, which is integral to generating interest as well as revenue. So I have a plan of which to structure a marketing arm, if you will, of our organization that will help facilitate these things, whether having events or meetings in those areas when we're not having games such as the State Fair Classic and those things, to get out there and do a Q&A or a tour or meet with the Dallas chapter. Houston is a lot closer, so we have greater access to that area based on proximity. But the goal would be to get our information out as well as tell our stories and our human interest stories in these markets to make sure that they feel like they're still connected and as close to the hill as they possibly can be.
And I didn't, and the only reason why I paused because it was just the Houston and Dallas markets. We've got San Antonio, we've got Chicago, we've got Austin. I mean, there are so many surrounding communities that are just filled with Prairie View University Panther alums. I mean, Fort Bend County, Missouri City, they're cities outside of Houston. So, I mean, there are just so many different places that I think we need to fill that gap, fill that void. And I'm sure that you're working on a marketing strategy to get information to all of the masses. I know Billy Davis, who's my classmate, has done a great job with the alumni. Billy Davis and I, we had a long conversation the other day, who is willing to step in and assist with any marketing strategies that you have. I know the Prairie View Athletic Club, the Panther Club, and the Panther backers are at your behest, and we're going to really work to try to make this thing work and get Prairie View to where it needs to be at the pinnacle of athletics. Any chance to, and this will be the last question, any chance to implement surveys to garner continuous feedback on game day experiences and engagement?
That's a great question and a great suggestion. That's one of the things we want to definitely do, and format it such that it is something that you can do on your electronic device, your phone, or any of those devices you have, computer, whatever the case might be. But a great suggestion, and that's something that's been front of mind for me for a while, really getting feedback as quickly, if not instantaneously, in order to address the needs, concerns, suggestions that are provided. So definitely something that I embarked upon at a previous institution is a game day experience survey. We sent out to folks to get their input on the game day experience on our campus. That's something that's definitely front of mind for me. It's something that we will definitely do to get your feedback such that we can provide those things that you're thinking about to the best of our ability to make it the environment that is inclusive as well as dynamic and maintain the history and tradition that is legendary here on the Hill.
Well, Dr. Reed, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. This has been a great day. It has just been an honor to moderate and host this very, very significant event in Prairie View University history. I will say this as a longtime Panther, there are a lot of things that can be done, that should be done, that needs to be done. But I'm going to say this to the Panther Nation: many hands makes the load lighter. So if you have any suggestions, if you see something that needs to be done and needs to be corrected, please feel free to reach out to the Department of Athletics and let them know about it. And let's do it in a respectful manner. I know sometimes we get a little besides ourselves when we see things that are continuously going wrong in any arena. But we've got to just do better, especially during these trying times. It has been difficult in this pandemic. We've lost a lot of friends. We've lost a lot of Panthers. And some people are having a hard time fulfilling their dream, Dr. Reed. But I think if we come together, we can all make things happen and make it happen in the right way. And we're excited to have it. And we're excited to have you. Thank you again, Dr. Reed, for stopping by and chatting with us. His door is open. His email address and information is on our website at www.pvpanthers.com. Thanks a lot again, Dr. Reed. Stick around, folks. Any final comments, sir? I'm sorry.
No, I said thank you. Thanks, everyone, for your interest and support. Looking forward to seeing you all at all of our events.
I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off. All right,
no,
folks.
it's okay.
Stick around. We're going to wrap things up here in just a few moments. We've got a couple of more announcements to make. This is National Signing Day on Panther Vision and PVAMU-TV.
Professor Edwards and the band had to heal from that blemish to his otherwise stellar reputation. But the masterful Maestro got his student musicians on one accord.
He was definitely funny. Now, he would go off, but he had this real passive side about him. He would go off with the students. He would go off on them, but then they would come in crying. He'd talk to them, and then he would talk to me behind closed doors. I really like that kid, but that kid needs to do this and that. But he would chastise them, but then he would let them sleep on his floor. That's the kind of person he was.
He taught me just a whole lot of lessons in that mind frame, and really put it into perspective of, you can be extremely talented at something, but if you don't have the work ethic and if you don't have the heart for it, you will always fail.
George had told the students was always his requirement, that you dress, professionally for a trip, And this young man, there was a young man in the band who had dressed less than professionally and for this trip, because we flew the kids out there. This was the first time a lot of the students were flying or whatever. And so Mr. Edwards saw this young man, and he was livid. He said, he basically told him, "What are you doing? Look at you. Look at you." And he just really chewed him out. And the little guy dropped his head, didn't fuss back at Mr. Edwards or whatever. So when that exchange was over, some of the band guys came to Mr. Edwards and said, "Mr. Edwards, this guy, he doesn't have the money. He didn't have anything to wear." And I don't know, it seemed like the kid had suffered some kind of financial hardship or maybe a death in the family, whatever, I can't remember. George was so broken. He came by my room and asked me to come go with him across the street. The hotel we were staying in, there was a galleria across the highway across the street. And we went over there, and he went to the men's department and bought clothes for that young man.
I was getting ready to graduate undergrad. I think I owed the university maybe like $987. And my grades were always good. And I was kind of, down, practicing for my senior recital. He was like, "Well, what's wrong, money?" I said, "I can't pay for school. I'm not going to graduate." And he was like, "What you mean?" I said, "Well, I still owe a balance. Got all my credits, got this taken care of." He was like, "Well, nah, you got to graduate." He was like, "Well, let me call somebody." He called Miss McDade. I think at the time they didn't have any more scholarship money. He was like, "Well, I can't have you just sitting around." And went in his pocket, took the money out, walked into the banks and paid the rest of my tuition.
We go to TSU, and this is the first kind of battle of the bands that we had with TSU, where we're performing it's just a band before the game. It's the day before the game, and to this day we kind of debate back and forth on if he actually said it. But I do remember somebody saying it was like a little break in between the bands. It was an empty area. And I think I heard somebody say, "Hey, do not go in that area."
So I said, "Hey, man, when this come up, don't go in this area right here, because they told TSU don't come over here. We're going to keep it, down the middle. Just do what we do and be cool."
So soon as the song comes on, we looking at each other. Everybody look. We playing, but we looking at each other. And all I see somebody do is point to that empty space. Like, we're going to point right there. Nobody said no. Nobody stopped it. It was just once that section hit, boom, we ran.
I'm like, man, probably look. He used to wear glasses, and he looked like over his glasses, and he was like, I knew right then, like, okay, this will be my head. I know it. Walked up, he was like, "Go up there and tell them I got him. I got him."
You had no business going over there near TSU. Why do you think we had that much room between us?
Hey,
you're stupid.
Let's go. Go outside. Go outside. So we all go outside. He's like, "Play the feature." We're like, "What you mean?" He like, "Play the feature." Like, "Prof, our drums is on the bus. I don't care about the drums. Play the feature."
I'm gonna punish you, but I'm not gonna punish you the way you think I'm gonna do it. I ain't gonna take your scholarship money. I ain't gonna make you do push-ups. You finna run the show. Run it.
Edwards' keen attention to detail and preparation were vast beyond measures in having his vision for the band become a reality.
I could hear him in his office, and he would hear a tune, or even if he didn't hear a tune, he'd just have his keyboard out and he'd just start playing. And then he'd write it down real quick, or he'd be playing, he'd input it in the system real quick. And he'll make a copy, and he'll come out with a score in matters of minutes. You could give him a napkin at a bar, and he'll compose a whole piece.
Because he had a way of saying, the entire nation is going to hear this, and it has to be the right PV way.
And I was walking across the campus, and he called my name, like, "Hey, Hollywood, come here." So I run over. "Hey, give me the 505 and the kid G." And I'm like, "Huh? 0. You never know when you got a pop quiz." I'm like, "You playing?" Like, "I'm for real."
Those who affectionately called Professor Edwards Prof. Edwards knew deep down he was a warm-hearted musical genius. a musician who had inspired thousands, a lover of bands who grew up and dedicated his life to elevating the marching band performance and sound, the man whose impact on the marching storm still reigns to this day.
Welcome back to National Signing Day on the campus of Prairie View A&M University, ladies and gentlemen. This has been just simply a fantastic production, and we want to thank several people. But as I was watching the piece on Dr. George Edwards, if I would be remiss if I did not mention Prof. Ron Leverett and I, who has been my mentor and father figure and friend for all of my Prairie View life, and George Edwards was dear friends. He took me under his wing also. And I remember sitting in the office one day and he came over and said, hey, Porter. I said, yo, what's going on, Prof? He said, I need you to announce for the band. I said, huh? I need you to do your thing for the band. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I need you to announce and do your thing for the band. So I'm like, wow, really? And then Lindsay Leverett, who was Ron's daughter, who was like my sister and my child, she was a Black Fox. She was actually a majorette under Dr. Margaret Willing. She was a majorette. And she came in my office. She said, well, I'm not going to be a majorette anymore. Me and you are going to be doing the band announcing. I said, huh? She said, I'm going to do it with you. And I tell you, George Edwards was just an incredible human being. He was an incredible human being. And I will miss him dearly and still do. Well, folks, we're going to wrap up today's National Signing Day. A couple of announcements. Don't forget now, when you're on the campus of Prairie View A&M University, please practice social distancing. Wear your mask and hand sanitize as frequently as you can. Okay? Hand sanitize as frequently as you can. Wash your hands 26 seconds. If you don't know how to estimate 26 seconds, say your ABCs while you're washing your hands. Okay? Exciting Panther basketball coming your way. This Saturday as the Panthers travel down to Houston to take on the Tigers of Texas Southern in the H&PE Arena. Slow down. The women will tip off at 4:30, and then at 7 o'clock, a nationally televised ESPNU game as the Panthers take on their arch rivals, Texas Southern University. Exciting Panther football is upon us. The Panthers will take on the Tigers of Grambling State in the State Fair Classic. February the 27th, down in the Dallas Cotton Bowl. Tickets are on sale online right now at www.pvpanthers.com. www.pvpanthers.com. Tomorrow you can buy them in person at the Baby Dome box office, okay, from 1 to 7, 1 to 3, let me get it right, and 5 to 7 on Friday, 5 to 7 on Friday. And tomorrow, let's get it right here, 5 to 7 Thursday, tomorrow, 5 to 7, and then on Friday, 1 to 5. Okay, online right now, 5 to 7 on Thursday and 1 to 5 on Friday. Tickets to the State Fair Classic. You better get them soon. I don't know what the capacity is. So if you want to be a part of the State Fair Classic, you need to get your tickets online. Exciting Panther soccer coming your way this Friday as the Lady Panthers take on Incarnate Word at 7 o'clock. It's going to be a good one. Coach Sonia Carvello has got the troops lined up and ready to go. Also, exciting women's volleyball coming your way tomorrow. You can watch it at Volley B, Instagram at Volley B. You can go online and look at our Instagram stuff, and you can find it. The women will take on the Cougars of the University of Houston. Well, thanks a lot for joining in National Signing Day. want to thank some people. Dr. Teresa Dowell-Vest, Dr. D, that's my new best friend. What a tremendous job she has done with helping us put this production together. It has simply been an honor and a pleasure to work beside her, and I look forward to some big things in the future. I'm telling you, we finna do this thing like we've been trying to do for years. I'm so excited, and we are so fortunate, so fortunate to have Dr. Teresa Dowell-Vest. And we love you a lot. We thank you for helping us with this production.
I just want to come and say hi and say I have been thrilled watching you, Charles Porter,
oh, no, come
the
on.
voice of PV Athletics. I just had to hop in here. I'm back here working the board and stuff from the house. We're quarantining together. Well,
yes,
not together,
my
but not your fault, brother. We've been working together, peoples, and this guy, I mean, the PV Nation know his voice, you know his energy, and I just had to hop on and just take my hat off, probably put my hat back on. Charles Porter, man, you did a great thing, and yeah, so many comments, people saying, "Hey, we got to do this, we got to do this." This type of show. I just want to announce that PVAMU-TV, Panther Vision are collaborating on the Panther Coaches Corner.
Absolutely.
And we are going to be bringing this type of updates and highlights and spotlights to you on a daily basis. And so we're going to put our heads together and get to work so you can expect us. But you did a great job, Charles. I'm just tickled.
I mean, look, let me tell you something. And I tell people about this all the time. It's not about Charles Porter.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about Charles Porter. I wear this jacket. This is my Hall of Fame jacket. I wear it with a lot of pride. Many hands tailored this jacket. It's not about me, not at all. It's about all of the students at Prairie View University who's come. It's about supporting our institution. It's not about me at all. I thank you for those accolades. I thank God for the opportunity. I give him all the praise and glory. But it's about Prairie View University and its constituency. That's why I'm gonna do it till I die. When I start slipping, it'll be time to sit down. I'm not slipping at all. I'm steady. I'm rocking steady, and it's just so good to be a part of this. I want to remind you also that if you need some information about our communications program, you can contact Dr. Dowell-Vest. Go online. I don't have her email address. What is your email, Dr. D? Come back on and give us your email address.
I'll put it in one of the banners underneath, but feel free to reach us at pvamutv.org, and I'll definitely get the information there. But I will put my contact in the banner as well, and help you all reach us. We're growing our communications program in general. We're definitely growing our broadcasting capabilities. We love PV Athletics. We're excited to collaborate with the Director of Communication for Athletics, Ms. LaTanya Thurston, who's done a phenomenal job just kind of gathering all the coaches and allowing us to play in the sandbox that is PV Athletics. And what Charles Porter has said today in terms of being in service to this university, I've never experienced another institution like Prairie View A&M University. And when you're inspired by the people around you, it forces you to do your best work. And I see that in our students, but I also see it in my colleagues. And I'm going to put my contact information in the banner, and I'm going to let Mr. Porter close us on out.
All right, friends, that's going to wrap it up for us for Dr. Teresa Dowell-Vest. Edward Bailey, who worked in a tireless effort, did a great job for us in helping us with our graphics. He's the Assistant Sports Information Director. Our Sports Information Director, Ms. LaTanya Thurston, our Assistant Athletic Director and Senior Women's Administrator, Coach Alicia Peach. She always going to be coach to me, as well as our Vice President for Athletics, Dr. Donald Reed. This has been Charles Porter saying Prairie View A&M University produces productive people. We build champions. Thank you for joining. Oh.